right, let's do a cheers to the Sobeys and Safeway Liquid Beer Release podcast.
We ride again.
I love you guys.
Careful, that cake's hot.
Check-in, come on, let's go. It's the AM Nasty Big Hello. It's not static, AM radio. It's the Cool Ben Red Hot Nielson Show. Let's go. Everybody tuning in, even my wife.
Mommy likes too.
And those Macromala intros are cutting like a knife. Hey, it's Mitch texting in, he's your dealer for life. Let's crack a 6 o'clock and lager with some sirloin bites.
At 6:06, you're tuned in to the Lieutenant Eric Show with Comrade Will Fraser, streaming on the iHeart and TuneIn radio apps and on YouTube, where the likes are flying in. Pound that thumbs up today. We weren't on the ice last night. We had nothing to do with it. We're just here to get you through it. We've been here before.
No.
We've done this before.
No.
We have come in and done a show after an Oilers loss before.
This is all new.
There have been some tough losses in the past, tougher than this one, and we'll get through this one. And there will be other mornings where you'll come in and lose to a neither than and shut out.
A wannabe.
Look, the post game last night was pumping. You're all there. You had your trade proposals. You had coaching changes. You had it all. And we look forward to getting that again this morning. We're going to work through it. We're going to get through it. We're going to get past it.
Stress of Christmas shopping is getting to people.
Well, we got a game tonight to set up.
That's
right. We're just going to set up the Ottawa Senators game.
Yep.
No need to look in the past, I guess.
Rinse and repeat.
The Ottawa Senators tonight. Yep. Stuart Skinner back in net.
Oh, thank
God
goodness.
love it. Yes.
Yeah. Thank God.
A lot of people. Yeah, that's going to be the refrain today. Lieutenant Eric Will Fraser with you. As you correctly mentioned, Dustin Nielsen will be back in some capacity today, or is scheduled to.
That's what the text message said.
Not on the Nielsen Show. I will read to you the latest, the update from Matthew Iwanek, who is our CFO, COO, and engineer, I guess would be his titles in order.
And POS.
Where is it here? Willie, oh, here we go. Heads up for this week, Dustin, Maddie says. As was the plan, he isn't in Monday. Will be doing mornings, blah, 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 blah. Tuesday and Wednesday, Dustin will do lock shop and noon shops. I think that meant shows. Oil Stream, two guys. From home. To ease back in and see if able to do shows again. So you are here today, you're here tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Dusty will be from home doing the lock shop, doing two guys, and doing the oil stream. And we'll see how that goes. And he had a fingers crossed emoji for Thursday. You'll be gone and Dusty will be
What did you people do to him that he is so traumatized he can't step foot back in here?
I've been thinking.
What did you do.
On my long car rides to and from the Central Casino Sports Bar and Lounge, where he could have joined me last night for the Monday Nighter and the Oilers lost to the Habs. Maybe he just doesn't like working with me anymore. Because when it's so long, you kind of, your mind goes to these, right? They go to these places, these weird places. And you're like, you know what? Maybe the answer, and I look in the rearview mirror at the traffic behind me and I catch a glimpse of myself and I say, maybe it's been you all along.
We've been here before. I think we know what this sounds like, don't you? Loyalty runs deep.
Wow. We are flying today. 780-218-9999.
Oh, man. You'd think the Oilers loss was getting to us, but it actually isn't.
Are they a playoff team, Will Fraser, today? Today they're not. They're not in a wild card spot officially today. They're tied even on points, but outside of wild
If they
cards.
officially started the playoffs in November,
Yes.
they would not be a playoff team.
It's not even American Thanksgiving yet.
Right. Not a playoff team.
Well, do we care?
Stanley Cup? I think not.
Look, I know it's frustrating, but their record in Montreal hasn't been great over the past 20 games, and it was a big night there. They were retiring a broadcaster. Yep. It was a delayed puck drop. We talked about the lure and the magic of old Montreal.
21,000 fans in attendance.
Yeah, that's what they do out there. All Canadian affair. It's going to be tough.
Which isn't to say they shouldn't have found a way to win. You should always try to find a way to win. I'm just saying that's a tough building for them to win in, for whatever reason.
Yeah, and the empty net goal, I mean, it's 3-0, but 2-0 really, and you know, there are a few chances too that you know, Zach Hyman kind of the net going off and push. I mean, they no luck, bad luck, and you're kind of, there you go, and the game ends, and there you have it. But power play is still a bit of a concern, obviously. I mean,
Zach Hyman it's a good thing he scored 50 last year, because he right now, as far as the fan ire, he is escaping.
You'd rather have Michael Bunting.
Yeah, well,
I'd
rather have Zach Hyman.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know who's playing for the Oilers right now, but that ain't Zach Hyman out there.
Nope. A lot of things right now. I don't know if it's fair to say death by 1,000 cuts, but it kind of feels like that, where you can kind of take a pick.
Well,
some people are blaming coaching. Some people are blaming special teams. Some people going as far as blaming goaltending. Bouchard's probably still getting blamed somehow, some way.
Injuries are piling up, right?
Yep. And you said, too, I mean, this is a team of big dogs and big horses, and if they're not showing up these nights, it's
no
not.
Arvidsson, no Kane, no Nurse. Like, that's not an insignificant injury total in front of you. So, but yeah, that felt like a game where Zach Hyman needs to go and find a dirty goal. Mm-hmm. And there was a few Zach Hyman shots from 15 feet out, and I have no idea why Zach Hyman is shooting the puck from 15 feet. That's not what he does. That's not his strength. And they seem to be afraid to go in front of the goaltender last night.
Not a skills exhibition evening that you kind of maybe could see beforehand, and obviously what
just a lot of changes in like there was not sustained pressure really by either club. Just a lot of changed possessions and then a fluky goal at the worst time, which is the end of a period, end of the second period. I mean, we probably should. Calling it fluky is not fair to Brendan Gallagher. That's the type of goal that a Brendan Gallagher can score.
Yeah.
It was a gritty goal, and the Oilers didn't have their own gritty goal in response.
We'll get to more on this game with the morning after show coming up. Lots to get to in the sporting world, including hockey. Alex Ovechkin continuing to tear it up goals-wise, but also got hurt last night, to much people's surprises in the nasty chat this morning as well. More updated on that later today. They'll reevaluate and such. But a handful of games around the NHL last night. We did have Week 11 coming to a close in the NFL. Cowboys remaining winless at home, 0-5 now. Texans,
that's a shame.
Taking care of business. A game that lasted a little too long. Some of those NFL games just get drawn out, and you're like, just end it now.
Yeah.
End it now.
They have commercials they got to run, man.
Timeout. Why are you throwing? You're up by 20 and you're throwing the ball here. And the Raptors picking up a much-needed win as well. The Emirates NBA Cup group stage action returns tonight as well. So we'll have more on all of that to come later.
So they're staying alive? They stay alive?
Well, it's if you can get a win every 6 games in the regular season, you're kind of much needed.
Yeah.
And so what are they, 3-12 now? I think you can lose 5 more, get another much needed one,
right?
4-17, right. And just kind of keep going from there.
Yeah.
And look at this. I forgot. Atif sent the Get Well song for Dusty Nelson. Would you like to hear it?
Nope.
Maybe we'll play that later on.
All right.
Get you fired up. I want to let you know the show is presented, as always, by Southford Chevrolet. Drive a little, save a lot. www.southfordchev.com. And also, 780-218-9999 is the Paris Jewelers inbox. And boy, do they have some new news for you. Early Black Friday is on now, up to 70% off. Huge selection in stock gifts, engagement rings for holiday proposal, flexible payment options such as do not pay until 2026. Right now, they have the 4-carat oval diamond solitaire for only $7,999. Quantities
Solitaire.
last. Is solitaire?
Solitaire.
Solitaire?
No, solitaire.
That's the card game, though.
It is. As in solitary confinement. Solitaire.
They all mean the same thing?
Yeah. As in single.
Is that what it means?
Yeah.
In what, Latin?
Sure.
A portion of sales from the holiday collection will be donated to the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Canada, so you know your money's going to a good place and everything such as that. But support Paris Jewelers, great place, West Edmonton Mall, lots of locations around this great country as well. And we are coming to you live from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen Studio. You know how it is. Get that new deal that they have right now for you as well. The Big Box, 2-piece signature chicken, 2 regular sides, and a biscuit with an option for a drink as well. The show today, morning after show, we'll get into that in a matter of minutes. Once again, tearing down that game. We got a game to set up tonight, so we'll be doing that as well. But we have to know where we've been in order to know where we're going, and that'll be last night, morning after show. Get your thoughts on that as well. What do you think? I mean, again, post-game show last night was fire, Latino Heat. We have the Batino Heat later on at 7 o'clock, but Hernan was fired up last night. Tommy was fired up. They were just, it was like he did an old segment with Low Tide. It was called Crossfire. Pew, pew, and it was just, bullets were humming.
Wow.
Like just, people were suggesting Woodcroft comes back, like the whole bit. So I know ICRNH is brought up in the nasty chat. So what do you got? What do you got for last night? Let us know. We'll bring it up in the morning after show. Nothing's off the table. Fired up for Gemco Fireplaces. That's coming up at 6:40. Craig Button has mentioned the Batino Heat. You caught him last night, did you?
Yeah.
And he had an interesting proclamation or declaration.
He declared that the Oilers are not going to win the Stanley Cup.
Look, a lot of you were singing that tune as well in the postgame. I know. We said the regular season didn't matter. Well, but they won't today. They're not in the playoffs today. If you ask him, are they a playoff team today? He'll say no, and he's right. Will they be a playoff team come spring? It's another question. Maybe that's the question we ask.
I guess the reason why I laugh so much is that no one looks at the Winnipeg Jets and goes, they're going to win the Stanley Cup.
Right?
But they are the best team in the NHL right now, bar none. Like, and it's not even close. Like, they are dominating the NHL right now. But no one goes, well, they're your Stanley Cup favorites. No one says that. But yet, if you have a team that is struggling to find its legs, dealing with injuries, you go, well, they're not winning a Stanley Cup.
Not today.
Right. Like, because they don't play for the Stanley Cup today. Like, let's start there. Like, I think what we all realize, and we do this every year at around this time, season's too long, man.
Yeah.
Like, this season is too long. Like,
Don't make us go back to the Tyson-Paul fight.
yes.
All about the money.
Right.
Well, I mean, I want a longer season.
You have a season like this to determine your needs and wants, right?
Sure.
Which is why you have a trade deadline. Like,
Everything gets figured out in the end.
There's all these.
It's a
types of
journey.
things. Yeah, like it's kind of one of those things where it's like, yeah, when do you want your team to struggle? You actually want them to struggle early.
Well, and injuries as well. This was a team that was healthy throughout the entire season last year.
Yes.
You've had a few injuries. Connor McDavid's missing time. Darnell Nurse is missing time.
Yeah.
Which, again, we found out yesterday, 5 to 10 days, probably miss a couple of games here. As I said, put the hot water bottle on top of the head.
I do not like that timeline. That is an unserious timeline.
It's an unserious league.
Yes.
When dealing with head
Yes,
injuries.
it
So
is.
here we are.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be surprised at all.
Yeah.
So he'll be back. But again, getting these things, you're right. If they're going to happen, you might as well have them happen now.
Sure.
And have your questions now so they can be answered in a timely fashion by when you need them in the spring. So look, we all said I was in hangout shows multiple times.
Yeah.
Nobody cares about the regular season.
No.
Nobody even really cares about the playoffs.
Right.
A few people would suggest. You just get in there. But seeding can be an important thing for some people in terms of home ice advantage. I get it.
Sure.
Like, points are points. And whether you get them in October or March, whatever it is, they all count the same. So I do get the other side of it. You do too, right? Like in that case,
no. Like,
points are points.
I think criticism is valid.
Yes.
Because this is the time for criticism. I just don't think panic is valid.
Absolutely. I
just don't.
I hear you.
I feel like everyone's memory is so do you remember how bad this team was last year at this exact moment?
Yes.
Right? Like, they were a worse team than they are now. And where did they end up last year?
Seismic changes were made. I don't see that happening this year. Do you? I think they kind of. I know people were calling for the coach, and it's very easy. People rush to pull the fire alarm, but
yeah,
we're not going to be seeing that. Not today.
I don't know.
But a 9-8-2 record right now doesn't justify any of that. Is what you're saying? There's no panic right now.
No,
things can get there if you lose 10 in a row. Sure, I get it.
And they're
not going to. And it's a team that can streak. They can go and win. What else did we see last year? Right?
Yeah, 15, 16, 17 game win. Like,
come on, what are we doing here?
And they did that winning streak, and they still didn't win a Stanley Cup. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Even when they looked they were the best team in the NHL, they didn't end up like.
Strummy, text this one in, please. Seating is a lot easier when your PP is working.
Yeah.
God, I love it. Text that in. You could be going to AW. $20 to AW for text of the day.
Listen, I actually think he's on to, I think he's kind of squared the circle there. If you are looking at 12 different things about what went wrong last night,
if you're ranking
looking
them
at too many things. Yeah. Their power play didn't score early.
Sure.
And because their power play didn't score early, they lost the hockey game.
Yeah.
Right? If they score on one of their two power plays in the first period, they're up 1-0, and it changes the complexion.
If you get on that Habs team last night, it's not like they're going to be a force to be. Yeah. It's not a high wall there. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, well, and so Craig Button will be by for that, telling us why the Oilers are a playoff team at around 7:05 for Pro-Am Sports. Coolbet Canada hotline of the day. We'll check in on what Coolbet's got going on. The keyword for the EST Flyway to LA, that's 7:25, so be by your phones for that. We'll have a word. You'll text it in. We'll give you a call, and you could qualify. Draws coming up November 29. We're sending you and somebody else to LA for lots of sports and a rental car. Weekly confessions. You got to, and don't tell me.
I am ashamed.
What is this, Fraser the Wild, hey?
Yeah, I have shame today. I was not my best self, and I feel bad about
God, I can't wait for this.
Yeah.
The Fan Zone for Fans First, 7:40. And the third hour, kind of easy trivia, 3 questions too many. That hurts. Joaquin Gage will be by as well. I sent him a cryptic photo of the Bend yesterday. That's his pub that he hangs out at there on the
over in Riverbend. Yeah. Nice little place.
I didn't get back to him at all. Kind of
been there for lunch.
Hanging. It's great. Sitting up at that wood is awesome. The great bar, it's a nice place. We'll have him by. We'll also have an orange and blue breakfast. Oilers Sens tonight. GCL Diesel pregame show with Tom Gazzola, 4:00 today here on EST, and that's all ahead of the wrap before William Huff. 6:20. Let's get into last night's. Again, we will be talking about the game as the show goes on through the morning, but a little more of a deeper dive right now, and we'll bring in YouTube Trev as well for his thoughts on this. You use the term frustrating at times with this team, Trev. A frustrating event last night, I would say. As we said, you get on this team a little bit early in the Habs, and they're probably finding a way to win, but shutout 3-0 in old Montreal.
Yeah, it was very frustrating. It was tough to watch, man. Like, that was the first game I've watched.
Was it tough to watch when it was 0-0, though?
Well, no. Like, McDavid was flying. They had their chances. They just couldn't get anything.
It was a little frustrating that they were not sustaining pressure, right?
Yes.
But it wasn't a frustrating game.
13-8 shots in the first. Yeah. You could argue maybe sometimes the shots, out shooting, but to what degree and high danger. I don't have those metrics in front of me. But.
Yeah, it was just, it sucked. That was the first game that I watched with the stepdad, and I don't know how long. It's been a long time, and it was, that's what made me a fan growing up, just sitting back and watching the game, just cheering and all that. And we didn't get a cheer for a single goal, so it was annoying.
You're going to say frustrating there, weren't you?
Yes, absolutely. But yeah, like I tuned into the post-game show, and they nailed it. Like, it was perimeter hockey. They just, for whatever reason, just could not I don't
to
know,
the front of
just
the net
yeah, like
and stay there.
Yeah, like it was insane, and it's the Montreal Canadiens. Like this isn't a good team at all. Like they're at the bottom of the barrel, so it's kind of alarming. I obviously know it's not gonna. That's not who the Oilers are, and we've seen that at times. It's just. That's where it's frustrating because you don't know where you are with this team. One day they show you one thing and then okay, they're back. And then you get whatever last night was. And so it's this just teeter-totter effect and you're just, ugh. And so, yeah, that's annoying. I didn't like that at all. Like, I'm not a fan of Jeff Skinner. Like, look, I know he hasn't showed much recently, but at the beginning of the season, he was, like we were talking about, he was the only one. He was the only one showing up after a terrible preseason. After the Patino Heat ripped him apart, and then he starts playing pretty good. But like, how is he supposed to show up? Like, it's ice time is what he needs, and he's not getting any ice time. He doesn't have any confidence. So when you put those two together, he's not going to find his game.
Yeah,
and so he needs to be up there. I love Podkolzin. He's the eye test is great, everything he's doing, but at the end of the day, like it kind of goes for a lot of these players, nothing's going in. So like, and I don't know, but he's got to be up there. The power play is just tough to watch right now. It's just too much perimeter hockey. They're too darn pretty. They're too passive. Like McDavid is like. There's certain plays that you saw last night where he'd pass and it was just to no one or it didn't lead to anything, and the frustration it's starting to set in. Like he's got to realize that they don't all have to be pretty. He doesn't have to get his teammates involved. I know he likes doing it, but like this guy was a 60-goal scorer. He's got to put the puck in the net. They got to put the puck on the net. Just shoot the puck. It doesn't have to be pretty.
You mentioned injuries too. Draisaitl being flanked by Podkolzin and Perry isn't exactly an ideal second line.
Yeah,
especially when Perry and you mentioned Trev with net front presence and all those things. It's lots of things.
It felt like a head coach who was rewarding and trying not to send the wrong message. So it's clear they are not happy with the way that Jeff Skinner is playing.
Sure.
And they didn't want to give him a perceived reward by giving him the bump up to the second line. So instead, they go to Corey Perry, who has been a good soldier.
Yeah.
And they reward him. The problem is that it makes an already slow line slower.
You're not getting anything out of that reward.
And the other problem is that Corey Perry is at his best at this point in his career as a net front presence.
Yeah.
And with a Podkolzin, all of a sudden he's being asked to carry the puck more, and any advantage you were hoping to get from Corey Perry is negated if you're asking him to carry the puck. So I didn't love that, and I know I know Dustin would be upset with me for saying this. I'm surprised they didn't load up. Like, I'm surprised we didn't.
Yeah, sure.
We didn't see McDavid.
It can happen, and then you can go back to whatever it is. It's not in stone.
I'm surprised we just didn't see a McDavid and Draisaitl bump RNH into the center spot on that second line and just.
All you needed was a little bit against this team, and then it would have been.
I'm a little surprised with that.
Yeah.
If I would, looking back on the lines, I think I probably would have preferred if they wanted to reward Corey Perry, put him up with McDavid and put RNH with Draisaitl. Then at least you have another facilitator, another person who can carry the puck with a little bit of speed through the neutral zone. But that's what happens when you have the injuries that the Oilers do. Is you kind of you get a bad mix on your lines. So.
Yep. Nasty Chet's humming Buster TN. Colorado is not that great either, and their goaltending is worse. Sapporo J also Oilers on pace for 86. Just speaking facts and bringing up the Avalanche. It's a good comparable there, and I get it. And it may be a different story with them.
I appreciate that you're using math to go, this is what they're on pace for.
No, but
that's not how hockey works.
Just let them have it. Let them have it.
That's not, you don't maintain the same pace from 20 games to the next 20 games.
You're on pace for it.
Right.
If this continues.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. You're right. If nothing changes over the next 60 plus games.
That's all he's saying. You're arguing that some things could change.
Well, first of all, you're going to get healthy.
Yes.
You're going to get
probably make a deal or two
back.
Yeah.
You will probably finally have to make a deal of some sort. Like, this will be, and I'm not predicting success. Some teams take step back before they find the success that they want. That might be the case this year, but I can't use a Monday night game in November in Montreal as any sort of a predictor.
Penner's Pancake says, on a positive, Josh Brown was not noticeable last night, which is a good thing, I guess.
Yeah, he
And
played
then
offensive lineman hockey.
Loomis follows it up with Jay Brown was horrible. So there's a debate going on there. Big moment that happened. You got one from last night that kind of swayed this game one way or another.
Brendan Gallagher was
Yeah.
scoring with less than 2 minutes remaining in the second period.
Yeah.
And it was an absolute deflating goal.
Dagger.
It was a seeing eye tip through traffic that kind of came from nowhere. The Oilers had actually had a couple of nice pressure shifts in a row before that, and it was just it was the exact kind of goal that was going to get scored in a 0-0 game like that.
He got no run support, but Pickard
played well.
Again, in 9:17, you're kind of looking at it and again, you can look at numbers, you can look at the eye, and you can look at all this stuff, but I just kind of playing into a 1B to Skinner's 2B type of thing, if you know what I'm saying.
I'll say this, watching Montembeault again, I get why people think that there might be something here, because he does have, he has a very good, his high end is very good.
Yeah, and we've talked about the lump of goaltenders in this league, and you can see him kind of maybe...
Yeah, well, if he finds consistency to his game, if he gets consistent with that high end game, that's a very good goaltender.
3 stars last night. It was a clean sweep for the Habs. Montembeault, Gooley, Gallagher. You're 1, 2, 3.
Sure.
If you could pick a fourth, anybody else from the Oilers? I mean, Pickard. We just
From
said
the
it, but-
Oilers?
Well, I mean, if you want to pick another Hab, that's fine too. I think Pickard again, a clean game. We're trying to draw positives out of here. I'm going to do it.
There's not a
I got a
lot.
game tonight. I know, but
Like
Pickard.
Like your top guys are all -2s and -3s on the evening.
I know.
Like
I know.
it's
RNH 5 shots.
5 shots for Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, and he was only a -1. So
Yep. There you go.
let's give it to Ryan Nugent-Hopkins.
Let's do it.
for
Let's
being
do it.
the least worst.
Do you have a stat as well, a super stat that you want to pull anywhere from last night's game? Again, I'm looking at the 9:17. Super enough for the Oilers, but
Let's go with Leon Draisaitl in the dot. I
think you
wanna
can go to that
say he
metric
was
most nights. Yeah.
60+%. I'm just gonna pull it up right here.
Power play still an issue, obviously.
Leon
0 for 3.
Draisaitl,
Yeah.
8 wins, 4 losses, 66.7% in the dot. That's a pretty dominating effort. And Adam Henrique right below him at going 7 wins and 3 losses. So that's what they nailed.
Something.
And once again, proving that face-off stats are the most overrated stats in hockey.
Yeah. Well, there's a collection of overrated stats. I think we can kind of, but
what face-off stats are supposed to do is give you an idea of who had possession, who had more consistent possession, and the Oilers did, but they're rarely a predictor of success.
well, much like your hit metric.
Yeah.
You two, Trev, parting thoughts for the morning after show here. 6:30, we can get into a sports update. 0 for 3 with the man advantage again. Somebody predicting Pod Colson will score 2 tonight. But your thoughts, again, to wrap last night's game.
Would you like to? Are we still playing the clip? Or are we gonna?
Sorry, let's get into Noblock right now. We'll push the sports here for a couple minutes, but let's hear a couple minutes of Coach Chris Noblock post game last night here. Oilers 3-0 out in Montreal.
Time and enough pressure. What was maybe missing from getting an early goal or one even to follow?
Absolutely, we had a lot of possession time, but a lot on the perimeter, especially in the second period. It was a lot of time in the offensive zone, but we really didn't generate very much. They didn't give us many chances. I don't think we had our first 5-on-5 chance until at least second half of that period. So as good as it looked, that we really didn't have many opportunities to score.
Was that something that they were doing or something you want to see?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. A lot of credit to them. Defending, keeping us out to the outside and not getting beat. But, we can work for our chances too. Whether it's making a few more passes, not turning the puck over the blue line, getting a little more presence around the net. Yeah, there's some stuff that we can do a little bit better, but a lot of credit to Montreal because they did a lot of good things.
Speaking of presence, how much did you miss Darnell Nurse's presence here tonight?
A lot. Darnell's a good defender, but also generates a lot of offense. Just carrying the puck out of the zone, creating turnovers on line rush against. And in the offensive zone, just being able to get those wrist shots through the net, those are things that he's good at.
That's a young team over there. Is their speed one of the things that kind of had you guys on your heels in the neutral zone tonight?
Yeah, they had a lot of speed, and I think a lot of speed, not so much difficulty for us defending, but the speed of them checking, not giving us time, space. They were able to skate and close. Definitely saw that.
Chris, when you talk about doing more ourselves to create chances, is that kind of a one-game scenario, or is that something you find is happening more than you would like?
Well, if you look at our goal scoring, we're obviously near the bottom of the NHL, but generating chances, shots from the slots, that's usually the big one. We're ranked, most offensive zone metrics, we're top 5, if not top 3. So, whether those are wrong or misleading, but we are doing a lot of good things. Tonight, I thought we got away from that. But, overall, I think it's been good.
Overall, I think it's been good.
That's a tough one.
Head coach Chris Noblock last night, post-game, as the Oilers get shut out 3-0 in Montreal. The first half, back-to-backs. Of course, they'll be in Ottawa tonight. We'll set that game up as the show moves on as well. 780-218-9999. Your thoughts on that or in the nasty chat as well. It is the Lieutenant Eric Show with Comrade Will Fraser. YouTube Trev's got your sports update here for Nisku Glass. We'll be back with a little fired up for Gemco Fireplaces to round out the opening hour here on Edmonton Sports Talk.
Sam Montembeault stopped all 30 shots as the Habs blanked the Oilers 3-0 from Montreal. The loss drops Edmonton to 9-8-2 on the season, but the Oilers are back in action tonight in Ottawa to take on the Senators. You can join Tom Gazzola for the GCL Diesel pre- and post-game shows here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Coverage gets underway at 4 o'clock. Elsewhere last night, Alex Ovechkin scored twice before leaving in the third period with an apparent leg injury as the Capitals defeat Utah 6-2. Ovechkin, who has 5 goals in the past 2 games, left at 5:30 in the third and did not return following a collision with Jack McBain. He will be reevaluated today. Ducks double up on the Stars 4-2. Sharks over the Red Wings 5-4 in overtime. Macklin celebrating with the OT winner. Blue Jackets top the Bruins 5-1. Boston has dropped 3 straight. Avs clipped the Flyers 3-2. Cale Makar with the pair on that one. Texans improved to 7-4 with a 34-10 win over the Cowboys, dropping Dallas to 3-7 on the season. Cowboys also 0-5 at home on the season. Week 12 kicks off Thursday when the Steelers visit the Browns. And over to the association, Raptors picked up a much-needed win against the Pacers. 130-119 is your final. RJ Barrett led the way with 39 points. And the Emirates NBA Cup group stage action continues tonight with 6 games. Cleveland at Boston, Charlotte at Brooklyn, Denver at Memphis, Pelicans in Dallas, OKC in San Antonio, and Utah in LA to face the Lakers. The Sports Update is brought to you by Nisku Glass. If you're looking for replacement glass for your construction equipment or fleet vehicles, or a home or business owner looking to upgrade your space with high-efficiency windows and modern glass designs, Nisku Glass is here to help. From your home or your business to your vehicle, they won't just meet your glass needs, they'll shatter them. Check out their Instagram or give them a call at 780-955-7989 and see what Nisku Glass can do for you.
The Nielson Show featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
I'm there all day for that. That's my happy place.
6:38, the Lieutenant Eric Show with Comrade Will Fraser coming to you live, iHeart, TuneIn radio apps, and on YouTube as well. If you are watching today on YouTube, hit the sub, pound the thumbs up. As I said earlier, we weren't on the ice last night. You don't need to, you can still give the thumbs up for us.
Yeah.
We're trying to, we got the hazmat suits on. We're taking a look at this puppy, and we're going to set up. We got a game tonight, so we can flush this turd, get on to Ottawa, and look ahead here. Orange and Blue Breakfast coming up in the third hour of the show. The Lieutenant Eric Show, Nielson Show, presented as always by Southford Chevrolet. Drive a little, save a lot. www.southfordchev.com. Once again, Paris Jewelers inbox. Place to text 780-218-9999. Black Friday sale is on now, up to 70% off select items. Also, flexible payment options such as do not pay until 2026. Engagement rings, that sort of thing. I proposed a few years back in the Christmas season. It was rather nice. Candy Cane Lane, if you...
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's adorable.
It was, I got down on a knee in a field surrounded by horse crap.
There's a lot of horse poop out there.
Yeah. But it was kind of like, it was a neat kind of painted picture, because in a world of shit, it's her and I type of thing. Like, that was kind of the...
I see.
Yeah,
It was poetic is what you're saying.
Yeah, the moon was out,
Yeah.
the stars were shining, the lights were bright, the beaver tails were there.
Sonny said to Cher, hey, I got you, babe.
Right now as well, through the Christmas season, Alley Cat 6 o'clocker lager dropping to $12.99 for a 4-pack. So get in on that as well. Our good friends at Alley Cat, and the delicious 6 o'clocker lager fits nicely in a stocking. One can. You could probably shove 4.
Depends on the stocking.
A bigger stocking. You can shove those down, or get 4 little ones and put a can in each one. But, Nasty Chat's bumping as well. Once again, if you are on YouTube, hit the like and hit the subscribe button. Let's get to Fired Up right now. I know a lot of you are fired up. We don't even have to kind of go anywhere else for this one. I don't know if you want to talk Raptors basketball.
Yeah,
but,
let's do it. Yeah.
Gemco Fireplaces, proudly serving Edmonton and area for 45 years. Look, they suck. Not Gemco, but the Raptors.
Yeah.
They're the authorized dealer for Napoleon Fireplaces as well. You can check them out, 9281 50th Street. Whether it's gas or wood burning, look no further than Canadian-made Napoleon Fireplaces. All the Napoleon products you need are available at Gemco. There was a football game last night as well, and I guess we can take a bit of a pause on the Oilers, but Texans 7-4, they improved to that. I was kind of fired up during the game that, they kind of had it. First play from scrimmage, running it for a touchdown, called back to holding. They then get a touchdown on that drive anyways. You kind of knew how the night was going to go from there. Dallas kind of, the Texans as well, like they are a team, C.J. Stroud especially, was coming in the road favorite. And he doesn't do too well when they're expected to do well. So you're kind of like, okay, well, maybe this could be a little interesting. No, but the Cowboys are still the Cowboys.
No, man.
0-5 at home. They fall to 3-7. It's kind of a weird game. I still don't know what to make of the Texans, but I don't know. The game didn't get me too fired up, I guess.
Like the Cowboys, it just feels like they go, we really liked our second quarter.
That's good enough.
Yeah.
I mean, look, if you can.
What about the first, third, and fourth?
We took a quarter.
We're happy about our second quarter.
You win a quarter. Yeah. No sun. Bit of moonlight maybe last night, getting in some of the receivers' eyes. Strummy says enough with the NBA talk already. Enough with the NFL talk already. Yeah, that's
okay. All right.
This is Edmonton Sports Talk.com. We are on the iHeart YouTube and TuneIn radio app as well. 7-4 for the Texans. We'll tell you what fires me up as well. You can join me Thursday back at Central Casino Sports Bar and Lounge when the Steelers visit the Browns. Browns looking to play a little spoiler as well in the Steelers season. And I do believe, where is it here? Next Monday, we got a pretty good one on tap here in the NFL. I just want to check out that schedule again. It will be Ravens-Chargers, the Harbaugh Bowl, next Monday from Los Angeles SoFi Stadium. Ravens-Chargers, so that'll be a good one. Join me once again.
That actually will be a really good one.
It'll be great. Central Casino Sports Bar and Lounge. Show up Monday, Thursday, all during the NFL regular season. Of course, when all those games are on, you got 19 screens wrapping around the sports lounge, so it's a fun place. And the food is killer.
How is one Harbaugh so much cooler and more successful than the other Harbaugh?
Which one are you talking about?
Come on.
Hey, one's coming off a natty.
A natty?
Is
that what the kids are calling it now?
Yeah.
All right.
Wolverines.
Yeah.
Maize and blue. Our next guest, his alma mater.
Okay. Sure.
Bone says, surround yourself with turds and you will resemble a rose. That's probably in relation to my proposal story, but maybe there's an Oilers tie in there as well.
Hey-o.
Maybe you can kind of... Haas said, Coach said it, the metrics are misleading. That comes in from us. Look, fired up is going to be the Oilers' loss last night, I guess. We're trying to pull from other things. None of you care about the Raptors right now.
Yeah.
The Cowboys suck.
39 points for RJ Barrett.
Yeah, you're trying.
Jakob Pertl, 30 and 15 boards.
Troll says, like I said last night, ozone metrics don't mean SHIT if you can't score shit. I guess I said it before, so I can say it again. Shots, all that stuff. We talked about perimeter and all that, and Nob said it in the post game. You heard it there. Do you think, though, that the Oilers need to do a better job of getting in there, or do you credit Montreal for keeping them out? There are two sides to this thing. Montreal is at the bottom of the division, bottom of the East. I mean, they're not a good team, but sometimes you got to give credit where credit's due as well.
Yeah, I credit Montembeault for controlling most rebounds so that there was not sustained pressure, and also Montreal's defense for getting the puck out as quickly as they could. Yeah. So it was kind of rope-a-dope hockey out there.
I guess I should mention as well, and I told you I was fired up. I won $30 to the machines last night at Century Casino.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I think it's a valid path to wealth management.
I got the free games, and then while I was in the free games, I got the free games again.
Yeah, well, no, we were saying you're still in the dream. Somebody has to kick you into a bathtub full of water. Finally wake you up.
That's the movie. Yeah. Rob the Plumber says, terrible broadcast and a terrible performance. Gotta love Prime games. The Prime curse. Do you subscribe to this at all? I mean,
maybe.
To hell with the Habs.
Perhaps it's Bezos hating the Oilers.
Did you get a chance to listen to 2J? He was on one of the intermissions last night as well, Jeff Jackson.
No.
Okay.
No, didn't tune in.
Trev, did you get any of that?
Tune in for the intermission games.
I did not.
Okay.
Like I had it on, but
I saw him moving his lips. And
yeah.
Anybody catch Jeff Jackson there in the intermission? Share your thoughts, 780-218-9999, or in the nasty chat as well. I mean, look, it's one of those nights. Schedule loss. Montreal, they're retiring a broadcaster. They got the big anthem, the organ.
No, that's not a schedule loss.
Okay.
No, that was just
Prime. All these things people are making.
That was
injuries.
That was just a bad game. I mean,
still playoff team.
Well, no, not as the standings sit right now, but they don't determine the playoffs in November.
Quite right.
Yeah.
We do have and he wasn't there. I should mention Jay and Jocelyn last night, Rob from the Grove, Dustin with a Y, and Fergie's Prostate, all joining me on Lurker's Ledge. That's what we call it there.
Okay.
Yeah. There's like Sniffer's Row or whatever, but this is Lurker's Ledge. It's not a strip club. It's a casino. No, but one individual that wasn't there, and I apologize for not making it out to your Grey Cup party, Atif, but Wheels has sent in a get well song for Dusty Nelson. I asked you before, would you like to hear it? You said no. Has your mind changed?
I really don't.
He sent it twice. You want to hear it, Trev? Perfect.
Please.
Well, then we'll play it for you, Trev. Without any further ado.
No,
is this because of the mustache?
No, these are fun. These make me happy.
Oh, there's something.
I like hearing them.
So this is Wheels Atif, not a Nasty Club member, mind you, with a get well song for Dusty Nelson.
Old Nelly.
It's been a month without you, my friend, and the EST is missing you. The Nielsen Show is going to be called the LTE Show, featuring Will Frazier. We thought you were at the Grey Cup in Vancouver on the weekend, but really I think you were in Toronto at this Taylor Swift concert.
That's it?
I hate this so much.
Hold up.
I think
my phone.
Yeah.
We'll have to listen to it again from the beginning.
It's been a month without you, my friend, and the EST is missing you. The Nielsen Show is going to be called the LTE Show, featuring Will Frazier. We thought you were at the Grey Cup in Vancouver on the weekend, but really I think you were in Toronto at this Taylor Swift concert. I wonder if Winnipeg Sports Talk Radio put offer sheet on you. And we hope that you're going to get well very soon. Everybody misses you, Dusty Nielsen. So come back to home to EST.
There you have it. That fires you up, eh? What line is your favorite out of that?
I like when he says, forgets what he's going to say.
Line. Yeah.
Or the high note to start off. It's been a lot. I like that. That's very original.
It's been a month without you.
See, isn't that good, Will? That's why we showed
send it to you?
That's why we showed it to you.
Yeah.
It's pretty good, hey?
I'm just trying to figure out how I can act or what I can say to not encourage more of this, and I feel trapped. I feel
Play
trapped.
a button.
Yeah, no, he's got me turned off.
Okay, here we go. Yeah. Okay, well, a conch for a teeth. I love it. Yeah, right on.
You encourage him.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just... I hate that so much.
Somebody says...
so much.
This might break Will Fraser, Zulu says. I think might. No, he's...
No, it's done. I'm broken.
He's putting you back together after this.
Yeah, I am... I'm good for another 7 years.
I tell you,
for sure.
It should fire Dustin Nielsen up. I mean, if he doesn't get back, and I mean, it's good that he will be back from his home studio, scheduled to be back today on the Lock Shop, and over the next couple of days, 2 guys and a goalie and the oil stream as well. So fitting that Atif sends that in, and maybe that's what propels him to get over it. G-Max says, worst ever. Big G says, my mom told me if you have nothing nice to say nothing at all. Mm-hmm. Joel says, I am also Will.
Yeah.
So, Will Strong.
We are.
I'm with you, Will.
Yeah.
Somebody
we
says.
are all there today.
Norman Combine, 110% agree with Will.
Yeah.
My ears are bleeding, Nature Boy says.
I'll say this, though. Real perspective. Really, like, you thought you were exhausted, exasperated by the Oilers' performance last night. And then Eric lovingly played that for us. And we realized, it's all about perspective.
Ah, yes. See, yeah.
perspective.
Thank you, Atif, for giving us something worse to discuss.
Right. Yeah, things could be worse. We could be listening to that for 2 hours.
Yeah.
You're a sicko.
I don't know where to go from here.
Why are you
Yeah.
so sick?
And you were playing some ELO before the show too, and we were loving
exactly.
it. Trev wanted to hear it.
We were in such a
I
good
just
mood.
asked the question.
And then that pervert with a mustache was like, "Oh, I want to hear some more of it." Like this, I'm starting to think there's something about the windmills doing stuff to your brain. I think this kid right here grew up around the windmills, and I think it messed with his head. You know what? For a while there, I thought that was just crazy talk. I thought that was just weird conspiracy theory from people who wanted to burn coal instead of finding cleaner ways to power our electric grid. But now I'm starting to think they're onto something because it has messed this kid up.
Veer Montenegro.
Poor choices.
Vermin says, if communism means no more Atif, sign me up, Comrade Will.
Yeah.
You, speaking of the conspiratorial aspect of it all.
Yeah.
Will Fraser, more like wet blanket Fraser.
Yeah.
RBM says.
You know what?
You wear that
agree.
with pride, though.
I agree.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm sorry. I should be better than this, but I'm incapable of it. That killed me.
But it's got you seeing things again, as you mentioned. It's not so bad.
This is
yeah.
No, this is that classic. I've got a headache, and so I'm gonna stub my toe to distract myself.
You pinch your thumb or your finger, and you're like, the pain is here now. Yeah. Okay, well, your thoughts on the Atif Wheels? I would suggest maybe you take a bit of a hiatus from.
Less is more.
Yeah, the people.
Less is more.
Because the odd time you do send in a ripper or whatever it is, but this didn't go over so well today, I will say, with the majority of you.
I'd also feel
we
free
won't play it again.
To write it down beforehand.
Like transcribe the lyrics?
Freestyles, though. That's his
thing.
Yeah,
it's all freestyle.
The
yeah.
freestyle.
That's why he's so good. He doesn't need to write it down.
Right.
Exactly.
Sure. As we saw in the movie 8 Mile, even the best write stuff down.
Jot notes,
Yeah,
maybe.
taking notes.
Take some notes, but that's all from the heart, man. That's all Wheels. He's riffing there. Don't listen to anyone, Wheels. Follow your heart, okay? I really enjoy every song that you've ever made.
popping up again.
You guys are in the and I'm with Will. Sorry, Will's Library Pat says Library Pat's a pretty understanding individual, and usually he likes to. If you've lost Library Pat, you've lost the vote here.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And Trev, I admire you wanting to hear the song, and Wheels in the nasty chat. Thanks, Trev.
You're welcome, Wheels.
Maybe you two can combine and take on Clausen and Koob. Wouldn't that be something? Four-way dance. I don't mind that. Yeah.
Clausen, Koob, Wheels, and YTT. I like that. That could be fun.
I can get behind some of that.
Yeah.
But only if you practice a lot. Like, sacrifice some weekends, some
I'll
evenings.
need practice.
Yeah.
I need to
Just
step
hang
up,
out.
right? We all know how good Wheels is, so I need to step up.
Yeah. No, I'm saying you need to spend time together so you really learn how to work as a unit.
Okay. Yeah. Get that chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A lot of people calling for a hiatus. So Wheels, we thank you for your work and your time, but maybe maybe we just pack it until the new
How
year.
am I supposed to kind of come up with kind of easy trivia after you do that to me?
Well,
you done me dirty.
A musical theme is what it'll be today. Hey, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's right. I'm gonna have to go to my happy place and just listen to ELO for the rest of the day. We had such a nice start to the morning.
Oh God, did we ever? Listening to ELO and doing a little show prep. That was and Atif from the top rope. Atif shoots from the hip. Penner's Pancake says that he does. He's no cadence weapon.
Few are.
Well.
Yeah,
it ain't him.
He is no poet laureate, that is for sure.
The real not so Slim Shady. I'd rather watch an amateur spelling bee with nails on a chalkboard in the background. So there's your picture painted there. Well, it's rude, but it's, you know what? If you're an artist, you're putting your work out there. You got to get the critique. You got to get criticism.
Poor Wheels.
Now you're like, that's rude?
Well, no, like Wheels is just
You're the
getting
one
ripped to
that
shreds.
dangled him out in traffic so that he could get hit.
No, I never. That is not true.
You're the one that just pushed him out there.
You don't.
Play it again. Two more.
This is bad. You
and
don't.
now you're upset that the crowd has turned.
Well, no, I'm not
You
upset. I
threw
just
him
feel
to the
bad
crowd.
because I
Yeah.
also get ripped to shreds online, and it's not a good feeling. So I feel for Wheels right
Well, we
now.
all do at
is that what
times.
it
It's
is?
Yeah.
I think you were throwing meat to the crowd. That's what you were. Like that.
I'm throwing meat.
Wheels does ask Will, how can he impress you?
Like I said, less is more.
It's just stand down.
Yeah.
Wheels. It's all good. Just don't do anything.
Yeah.
Don't do anything, and Will be highly impressed.
I'll be so impressed.
Was my singing worse than Mike Tyson fighting? Yeah, look, you know what it's got you? It's got you fired up today for Gemco Fireplaces.
It sure does.
Yeah. I can't wait to your confession today. I'm really keen on that. That pretty much does it. Can we get a conch for Atif here? One of you?
Yeah, you know what?
No, that's not a con.
Keep playing more stuff. I
deserves
love
a
it.
conch.
He does. Thank you, Trev.
This is for you, Wheels.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I don't even know what's going on.
Oh, this is great. I love this.
Well, now it's all playing. It doesn't stop playing.
Stop
That's
it.
what I'm realizing
Yeah.
now.
Wait, I think you hit him again, and you just got to ride that fader hard.
Oh, there we
Mashing
go.
that.
It's all done.
Mashing it.
No, it's still going.
Yeah. The Wolf says Wheels is the Napoleon Dynamite at VST. It's so bad. It's that's good. Yes, not the Italian Center Shop today, but yeah. So Wheels stand down, and we will.
And
hey,
stand
maybe,
by.
You know what? We do have a sound of the day included in the wrap for William Huff later on in the show. So perhaps if you missed it, we'll revisit it.
No one missed it.
Well, but if you're not tuning, if you miss the opening hour, some people don't
you're
tune in
right.
until 7 o'clock.
I
So they'll say,
guarantee
"What's all this
there
Wheels
is
talk?"
no one who's coming in the 8 o'clock hour going, I hope they replay it.
Wheels says, thank you, everyone, in the nasty chat. He's exiting stage right. I love it. Yeah, take 5, Wheels. You did well. Was that Bruce Wheelstein? Rusty Shackelford asks.
You don't have your mic up. YouTube Trev is just cackling.
Oh, it's
in
great.
Glee.
Yeah.
At the misery he has caused.
He's the puppeteer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the Joker over there. Yeah. He just wants chaos. That's all he
Who wants to hear it? I do.
Yeah.
He feels bad for you. Yeah, I love it. Second hour of the show, Craig Button is on the way. We're going to ask Craig if the Oilers are a playoff team or not.
Don't do this.
You had
You're
the Latino
agent of chaos this morning.
Look, you had the Latino heat last night on the GCL Diesel postgame show with Tom Gazzola. We'll have the Batino heat. Craig's going to get fired up on this one. Cool Bit Canada Hotline of the Day. We'll take a look at that. Keyword, your next chance for the EST Flyway to LA. Well, you got the sheets over there. Hey, we always kind of scramble at the last. Let's kind of see what's going on.
I have one
here.
sheet. Are we supposed to have more than one?
Hopefully it's state related. No, today's the 19th. So, okay.
Oh, I actually don't mind that
Not
one.
bad at all.
Yeah, even though, once again, it's in relation to a university team that is not...
Too many hints.
Yeah.
Keyword coming up 7:25 today. Be by your
It
phone
is
for
a
that.
word, though.
It is a word, yes. And again, if you're taking the first letter of this word, it combines into a long screed for my Wannick, kind of a, cabin in the woods type of feel.
Oh, yeah.
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 That's what I'm doing. I'm taking that first letter and, Confessions, 7:30. For Spectrum Rental, you've got a doozy lined up from you were in the wild last night dealing with the public or yesterday.
I'm not proud of myself.
And the Fan Zone for Fans First coming up at 7:40. That is hour number 2. This was hour number 1 of the Lieutenant Eric Show, the Nielson Show. It's got you fired up for Gemco Fireplaces. I love it. We'll hit a sports update here for Green Plan from YouTube Trev on the way. Once again, TSN's Craig Button. If you are watching on YouTube, smash that thumbs up again. We didn't play the game last night. We're getting through it. 101.
Changing 100.
Love it. Love it. Right away to exit the opening hour. Lieutenant Eric Will Fraser, YouTube Trev here on EST.
Sam Montembeault stopped all 30 shots as the Habs blanked the Oilers 3-0 from Montreal. The loss drops Edmonton to 9-8-2 on the season, but the Oilers are back in action tonight in Ottawa to take on the Senators. You can join Tom Gazzola for the GCL Diesel pre- and post-game shows here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Coverage underway at 4 o'clock. Elsewhere last night, Alex Ovechkin scored twice before leaving in the third period with an apparent left leg injury as the Capitals defeated Utah 6-2. Ovechkin, who has 5 goals in his past 2 games, left at 5:30 in the third period and did not return following a collision with Jack McBain. He will be reevaluated today. Ducks double up on the Stars 4-2. Sharks all over the Preds. Sharks over the Preds. The Red Wings 5-4 in overtime. Macklin Celebrini with the OT winner in that one. Blue Jackets topped the Bruins 5-1. Boston have dropped 3 straight. Avs clipped the Flyers 3-2. Cale Makar with the pair in that one. Now over to the NFL. Texans improved to 7-4 with a 34-10 win over the Cowboys, dropping Dallas to 3-7. Cowboys also 0-5 at home on the season. Week 12 kicks off Thursday when the Steelers visit the Browns. Raptors picked up a much-needed win against the Pacers, 130-119. Your final, RJ Barrett led the way with 39 points. And the Emirates NBA Cup group stage action continues tonight with 6 games. Cleveland at Boston, Charlotte at Brooklyn, Denver at Memphis, Pelicans at Dallas, OKC in San Antonio, and Utah in LA to face the Lakers. The Sports Update brought to you by Green Plan, providing you with award-winning environmental and consulting services. Whether it's municipal, industrial, or residential, plan it right with Green Plan. Visit greenplan.com or give them a call at 780-455-4292.
The Nielson Show featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
God, I love this track. 7:02. Right? It's got a real pronounced. It's great for Craig Button intro music here. He'll be joining us in a matter of minutes. It is the Lieutenant Eric Show, albeit for the next couple of days. Dustin Nielson scheduled to return from home today. He'll be hosting the Lock Shop, and over the next couple of days, the Oil Stream and Two Guys and a Goalie. So he's this close to coming back, and I think that Atif Get Well Soon Dusty Nelson song will probably propel him over the top. But today, still, Lieutenant Eric, Will Fraser, YouTube Trev with you as well. The Nielsen/Lieutenant Eric Show, presented as always by Southport Chevrolet. Drive a little, save a lot. Check them out today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at www.southfortchev.com. We're coming to you live from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen Studio, and as mentioned earlier, 780-218-9999. That is the Paris Jewelers inbox, where their Black Friday sale is on now. Save up to 70% off on select items and do not pay until 2026 with flexible payment options. Check them out today as well. ParisJewelers.com online. Text in. We'll get one of the best texts today, and you'll be off to A&W. $20 to A&W on the line for text of the day. I think Mr. Button's good to go, so we'll bring in Craig Button. Won't waste any more of his time. Craig Button this morning is brought to you by Pro-Am Sports, your locally owned sports memorabilia and apparel specialists. They're putting extra time on the clock, staying open until 7 o'clock on Thursdays in November and December. Located in Edmonton, corner of St. Albert Trail, 128th Avenue, or online at proamsports.ca. Edmonton Oilers falling 3-0 last night in Montreal to the Canadiens. Craig Button, how you doing today, man? Are the Oilers a playoff team?
I got to go right back to your first comment before I answer your questions. You never waste my time. Let's get that straight right now.
I will assume I do. You're kind, yes, very nice.
You don't. So just so I want to make that very clear. A lot of times I love listening to the banter before I come on. It's good. There's always something that spurs a thought on. Are the Oilers a playoff team? Yeah, I think they are. Are they a Stanley Cup contending team? Not as currently constructed. The more I've watched, there's not enough talent on the team. And you think about what happened from the last game of the Stanley Cup final when they lost. This is a less talented, less strong team for the Edmonton. I'm watching the game last night, and I'm thinking they don't have a coaching issue. The coaching is excellent, because when we look at process. And that's a big part of analytics and whatnot. The process is excellent. The way they create chances, the way they defend, they just don't have enough talent to finish. And they don't have. And when they make a mistake defensively, and because of the blue line, they pay a price. Darnell Nurse is out, and the goaltending. I don't think the goaltending was a problem last time, but it's been at the bottom of the league. Like that's not a Stanley Cup contending team. At the beginning of the year, I picked the Edmonton Oilers to win the Cup. Right now, they're going to have to show it to me. They're going to have to prove to me, and not the team, management's going to have to prove to me that they can go and strengthen this group. It's not a better team. It's not a strong enough team, and they rely on too few players. The reason they're so good offensively is because of their process, but they don't have finishers. They don't have enough finishers. And it drops off, and it drops off, and it drops off. Last night was a good example. They carry play, they can't finish. I mean, and so when I see a team that has to contend for the Stanley Cup, that's capable of contending, you have to be able to have a lot of things in order, and your team has to be deep. It has to be talented. The penalty killing is not very good. We know that's been a problem, and that's a coaching area. That's where they got to get better. But that speaks to a lack of talent on the blue line and poor goaltending. So management, to me. The finger needs to be pointed at management to improve this team. Nowhere else.
I think you are right. Your assessment is right. Is this the time of year where you can actually make that improvement, though? Or are there still too many teams that feel they're in the exact same boat? It feels like, to me at least, especially in the Pacific, where 5 points separate the top 6 teams, that every team is still sitting there going, we are one trade away, one move away, one healthy body away from being in a better spot. There doesn't seem to be too many teams out there that are already looking to retool for next year. Is it just a matter of patience for this squad, or do they need to have a little panic in their decision making?
Yeah, I wouldn't suggest they need to have panic. I think your point is spot on. You're right. I'm not saying that they have to go out tomorrow and improve the team and make a move, because that's difficult to do. And I don't give anybody a pass for saying things are hard. Yeah, things are hard, but you got to find a way to do it. I'm saying that at this point in time, watching this team play through to just, we're hitting the 20 game mark, right? So we're a quarter of the way through the season. Like they're a 500, they're a 500 team. 500 doesn't get you in the playoffs. So, 96 points, that's 14 games over 500. So, and we've seen the Oilers reel off some stretches last year. Last year was last year. And this is not last year. This is right now. Teams are better. Oilers are not as good. And when I watch them, think about it. You got to win 14 more games than you lose over your next 60 or so games. That's a significant winning percentage to make the playoffs. And the Edmonton Oilers, to your point, Eric, earlier, asking me, or your question earlier, asking me, are they a playoff team? Well, right now, they're in a dogfight. And I'm not going to write off the Edmonton Oilers from making the playoffs. But and I did. At the end of the year, they were my Stanley Cup favorite. They are no longer my Stanley Cup favorite. In fact, they're not even in the Stanley Cup contending group right now. Are they a good team? Could they move into there? Yeah, they could. Not as currently constructed, and they have work to do. Management has work to do. They do not have a coaching issue. This team is well coached. They have a player personnel issue, and that falls totally on management.
TSN's Craig Button with us, brought to you by Pro-Am Sports. We can talk about injuries, and we've laid to ground here a lot of things, special teams, but the players on the ice ultimately. I mean, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins has been called out a few times here on our post-game shows, pre-game shows, what have you. A guy like Zach Hyman, I think a game last night, crying out for that type of, how he's traditionally scores goals. Obviously not going to have a season much like last, you'd hope, but you'd also hope getting it going a bit. So with this collection of players that is right now, and a guy like Jeff Skinner as well, Craig, who you lit up here, shows past, but what's it going to take for this collection of players right now? And I kind of want to move into tonight's game in Ottawa. What can Oilers fans expect from the Senators team, and what is this current collection as they are today? Not what they might be in the springtime or what have you, or Christmas, but what does this collection and this lineup right now of 11-7 have to do to get a result tonight?
Well, let me just go back. Think about this. Leon Draisaitl's wingers last night were Corey Perry, fourth liner, and Vasily Podkolzin, fourth liner. If that doesn't scream lack of talent, I don't know what does. And I love Corey Perry as a fourth line player.
Yeah.
Vasily Podkolzin, but they're playing with Leon Draisaitl. We expect Leon Draisaitl to be super Leon every single night. Like McDavid and Draisaitl to me are not the. Hyman plays hard. He's had so many good chances. Like we can talk about Nuge. Arvidsson's hurt again. He's had 2 goals this year. Jeff Skinner is Jeff Skinner. He's going to pop some goals, but bottom line is he is what he is, and that's not going to change. And then you have all the other mixes in the lineup, and it just, to me, it feels fractured. It feels like continuity in terms of how you play and how you push an opponent. And now that gets me into Ottawa. Ottawa's finding that rhythm. Ottawa and Ottawa's they've gone in fits and spurts. 1 step forward, 1 step back, 1 step forward. If you get the 1 step forward, Ottawa Senators on this Tuesday night, they play fast and they play hard, and they'll be able to expose a lot of the challenges, the blue line. Some of the shortcomings on the blue line, player personnel wise, getting the puck out of your zone. They can forecheck really well, Ottawa, and they can transition really well. So when you have those types of areas on your team, they're a little bit softer, shall we say, and then you have an Ottawa team. If they play to their capabilities, and they have it different times this year, and at other times they haven't. They're a Jekyll and Hyde team for sure. Now, can the Edmonton Oilers on a back-to-back go in there and take advantage? I'm not worried. Honestly, I don't worry about how the Oilers play per se. They don't have enough to take advantage of how they play. That's why I keep saying it's about player personnel. But the Ottawa Senators have more scoring power. Through their lineup, they make it harder on you. And so that, to me, is where the Edmonton Oilers find themselves going into a back-to-back into Ottawa. And again, I never struggle with the way the Oilers approach the game and play the game. The last 15% is lacking because they don't have enough talent, in my view. And I don't want to keep harping on it, but Ottawa Ottawa, this is a good chance for Ottawa now to prove that they can take steps forward, because over the course of this season, they've been the proverbial one step forward, one step back. I think for Oilers fans, they're hoping that it's the one step back Senators on this Tuesday night.
Yeah, well, and again, another team in the Western Conference, I think when you look at the Colorado Avalanche and a lot of comparisons people like to bring up, yeah, well, the Oilers might be where they are, and after nights like they were last night, saying, oh, that the Avalanche are where they are as well, and you mentioned one step forward and one step back. I mean, the same can be said about this Oilers team, much like you were saying about the Senators, but in terms of, just needing to get where they need to get, who's closer there in terms of between the Avalanche and the Oilers, would you say in your mind? I mean, we all know Colorado needs goaltending. That's a need they'll have to go out and address some form or fashion, whether it's internally or externally, and the Oilers we know as well that a little more depth on the blue line. So which team do you still feel right now is more positioned to take that next step and really get to where they should be standings wise?
I think it's Colorado. They had a whole bunch of injuries at the beginning of the year, and Nichushkin has just come back into the lineup. The goaltending has settled in. It was terrible for the first 5, 6, 7 games. It was terrible, and that's why they started out so poorly. I think they found their footing, but where they have the advantage on Edmonton is when they get Lehkonen back, they get Nichushkin back in the lineup, Taves, when they get Ross Colton back in the lineup. Those are all players they already have. Edmonton doesn't have those players. They have to go and get those players. Edmonton doesn't have them, so I have Colorado ahead. I have Colorado ahead of the Edmonton Oilers, and again, Edmonton will, much like last year at the beginning of the year, then they made the coaching change. And once Chris came in and got it all settled down, and they were good offensively, they were good defensively, and they got rolling. And I think that's where Colorado finds themselves with Jared Bednar now. They'll get the same place that they were. And Chris has done, again, a good job with the Oilers. It's almost like I feel like the Oilers are doing as well as they can right now. And what do you have to do to give them a little bit of a boost? And that's where management comes in. And to the earlier point, you have to look at how you can do it and when you can do it. And we all want to snap our fingers. We have it done today. It's hard, and the timing might not be right. So how do the Oilers keep themselves afloat? How do they, Darnell Nurse is out. Darnell Nurse was playing really well for the Oilers. And I think everybody can agree on that. So hopefully he gets back. But you take him out, and now it exposes a blue line. I mean, can Ekholm and Bouchard play 35 minutes a night? I feel okay knowing I had them out on the ice for half the game. But I think you're stretching them. And can you do it over a short period of time? Yes. But, yeah, I think Colorado has those players. They've been injured. They're back. Some of them are back in the lineup. And now they can start to really make some strides. And I think that's where the Oilers have to get to.
And just your final thoughts, and since you join us once a week on Tuesdays, the Oilers will be back home hosting the Minnesota Wild on Thursday, a team that I don't think gets a lot of love, or enough love maybe, given the fact they are in the same division as the Jets and the Wild start that Winnipeg had. But, traditionally you kind of think of the Wild franchise as, the trap, the defensive, boring stuff. Not the case. 11-3-3. They're nipping right on the heels of Winnipeg. What can you kind of tell us about the Wild here ahead of that Thursday game and a bit of a pre-scout when the Oilers come back home?
They play hard, and right now, I mean, Jonas Brodin is out of the lineup, but John Hines, they have some real good depth in their group. Marco Rossi, who they drafted 9th overall, is really finding his way. Yeah, you have Matt Boldy. Matt Boldy, if you haven't watched Matt Boldy play, I mean, he's a big, strong, really good winger. We know Kaprizov, how good he is, but they play hard. They make life really hard for you. They're quick on you. They pressure you. They play hard on the walls. They're hard on the forecheck, and they defend well. And I think that the Minnesota Wild, they went through. Billy Guerin knew that when he bought out Suter and Parise, that there was going to be some real pain with respect to the salary cap space they were going to have. Well, not only is the team taking some steps forward because there's some really good young players, and Brock Faber, if you ever watched Brock Faber play, an outstanding young defenseman that they acquired in the Kevin Fiala trade. They have so much cap space coming up next summer because Parise and Suter come off the books to the greatest extent. Still a little bit of money there. This Minnesota Wild team, a really good team right now, they could be even that much better going out and acquiring players because their cap space is going to be significant on a really good team. They're not a bottom tier team with cap space. They're going to be a top tier team with cap space to go and improve their team. But it's not easy playing against the Minnesota Wild. They're a heart and they have skill and they have Kirill the Thrill, and Kirill the Thrill means by himself.
Bill Guerin's Minnesota Wild as well, just to get that in there. But I don't know if you wanted a final parting word here, Will. But
just that we get to see Jeff Skinner tonight. The other Skinner, Stuart Skinner, back in between the pipes. We saw what Montembeault could possibly offer a Team Canada. Do you expect any sort of is this any sort of a competition between the goaltenders, or is it just us in the media who are looking at Team Canada goaltending with a big question mark?
Well, if Team Canada management isn't looking at their goaltending with a big question mark, then I'd like to know what glasses they're using, because the greatest uncertainty for Team Canada is right in the net. And because there is no certainty in the net. And if you watch, if Canada was playing right now, you'd go, okay, Montembeault's our guy, because he played so well. But that's been the goaltending situation for Canadian goaltenders this year. Good, bad, ink. Like they're going to have to name their goaltenders, and they're going to have to do it. I think with a level of confidence, and also with a level of concern, and say, okay, we know what we can get to. Hopefully we can get there. But I don't think anybody has cemented the starting position for sure. I mean, I would have to believe that Jordan Binnington is on the team. After that, I don't know. I mean, Mackenzie Blackwood is playing really well. Darcy Kemper is showing some signs, right? But nobody has taken it. And when we think about goaltending in Canada, it used to be a certainty. It's no longer been a certainty. Now, can goaltenders show that? That's what they're going to have to do. And Montembeault did it on Monday night. It's Stuart Skinner's chance to show that on Tuesday night.
Well, Craig, we won't waste any more of your time today, but we appreciate it. As always, man, stay cool, and we'll talk next week.
Yeah, thanks. You guys have a great day.
Thanks, Craig.
Love it. Craig Button, TSN, brought to you, as always, by Pro-Am Sports. And want to let you know once again that Pro-Am, they're putting in extra time during this holiday season, pre-holiday season, I guess you could say. They'll be open until 7 o'clock on Thursdays in November and December. So you can check them out, corner of St. Albert Trail, 128th Ave, or online, proamsports.ca, your sports memorabilia and apparel specialists. So, again, more of the same from the opening hour. There was a lot to discuss with this team. Man, the players are here. The management did put them here. And as a lot of people saying in the nasty chat too, had to jettison a few. We keep hearing about Warren Fogle. We keep hearing about Ryan McLeod. But all of these guys, Ryan McLeod is getting ripped mercilessly last season for really doing nothing. So it's easy to kind of, shout downstream, whatever kind of phrase you want there. But it's when players leave, it's easy to say you want them back. When they're here, not so much. So it's one thing. But you mentioned there's injuries. There's a few key guys out. You get them back. You see what you do. You make a few deals. And this team, again, by spring should be fine. It's just we're going to have some of these nights.
Yeah, this is a team that...
This show is driving you wild today.
It's interesting how Craig talked about a lack of skill, and not necessarily to go 180 degrees opposite from him. Mm-hmm. But the Colorado Avalanche were brought up, and he excused their early season failings because of the injuries. I think the same can be said for the Oilers right now.
Yeah.
They didn't have an Evander Kane, an Arvidsson, or Darnell Nurse in the lineup last night, and they lacked an ability to get to the front of the net and pressure. Well, all three of those players, that's their MO, is they bring pressure to the game. And so you were missing that element. And will them being healthy solve everything? Probably not. But it definitely makes you a better team against teams like the Montreal Canadiens. And so what does management need to do? They need to remain healthy. They need to cross their fingers. They need to make sure that Evander Kane is the old Evander Kane when he's ready to come back. There's a lot of ducks that need to be put in a row that look pretty scrambled right now. But I'll also say this. He was very complimentary of Noblock and the coaching. And I don't disagree with that. But I do think that there's more there is more mixing that can be done on a nightly and in-game basis with those lines than is being done right now. I'm watching Connor Brown out there, and I think Connor Brown is a limited player, but he is one of the few players on this team that has elite level speed. I do not know why you are not using him more when your team is looking slow.
Yeah.
If your team is being bottled up in the neutral zone, is being out-chased to loose pucks, that's the guy that I move up. Maybe not for a whole game, but Corey Perry on the second line, getting the amount of looks that he got with a Leon Draisaitl, was the wrong look.
Well, again, you mentioned rewarding, but at what cost, too? Right. It doesn't... Yeah,
well, and Connor Brown would be the other guy. I mean, if you take Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and put him with Leon Draisaitl and put Connor Brown up with a Connor McDavid, I know that sounds crazy that you're taking yet another fourth liner, but at least you're spreading it out. That second line, the play died with them so much last night, and it died with them because they weren't quick enough, and that wasn't Leon Draisaitl's fault. That was Corey Perry's fault. And it's not Corey Perry's fault to be slow at the age of 39. That's just who he's going to be.
Absolutely.
So I think there is some massaging that can be done. When he goes that there's not enough talent, well, then why did you bring in a Jeff Skinner? Was he not exactly brought in to address this?
Yeah, and that's why the players are here from the management, and that's and coaching as well involved in those decision-making processes, I guess. But, yeah, and discussing the injuries as well, I mean... we've seen these starts before. I think Strummy said they've had these kind of multiple starts here with a healthy roster, so it's an excuse. I get that, but excuses and reasons kind of go hand in hand too, and certainly it's a reason. I mean, if you had...
And the only other exception I have with what Craig had to say was that he said, they started slow last year, but that was last year. The truth is, this team has started slow for like 5 years.
Yeah.
This team has been a second half team.
It's in the DNA.
Since they've been constructed as they currently are. So... do I think that can run out, that your luck can... Yeah, absolutely it can.
Yeah.
You can get a severe injury that... you want to bank your points early so that you don't have to rely on them in the second half.
Sure.
But this is also a team that is so used to picking up those February points.
Yes, and that doesn't make it right. And that's, again, I think we're kind of getting to the situation here where people... And I know the whole playoff team thing, we're kind of tongue-in-cheek in that, but that's where people come, where it's 2 points now, I mean, just as much as then, and you kind of want to, again, lack of a better term, make that hay while the sun is up, so you don't run into an issue that is unforeseen. Yeah, we'll get it done later. Yeah, I'll do it later. Well, it's not guaranteed that you will be able to do it later, and yes, we're saying this year, you're getting a few injuries early on, you're hitting the skids early on, and that's fine. But who's to say also that doesn't happen later? It's not a mathematical equation that just because you're doing it now and suffering it now won't happen later. And I do get that feeling from fans. You can't win them all, but...
Yeah, and it is November.
Why can't it just be a little easier, I guess?
Why can't being a fan of the Oilers be easier?
That's not how they do it. That's not how they will be doing it. And as Strummy pointed out, that's not how they have done it. So you're just going to have to get used to it. Let's get to the Coolbet Canada hotline of the day right now. We'll have more on the Oilers as well as the show trucks on. See, we're in kind of midway through the second hour of the show now. Now we can start thinking about tonight. You know what I mean? Senators and all this.
There's always tomorrow.
Yes. It's funny how he said tonight. Same thing, though. Snip, snap, Senators. Like, it's one night you're this, the second, you can't really get on.
Senators are a young team that has no consistency.
Oh, right? No, they're in a different boat. But I'm just saying you don't know which one you're going to get from any given night. So coolbetcanada.com, coolbet.com is where you can go tonight. We're going to the pitch.
Okay.
Canada, Suriname. I know Maddie will have more on this on the Hangout 9 to 11 today right here in EST. But
honest question, did anyone know that was a country before they played them?
They have a pretty cool looking flag. I guess it's hot down there. But Canada, Suriname tonight from Toronto, BMO Field, 5:30. Canada leading on the aggregate 1-0. So this is a quarterfinal leg 2 of 2.
Yeah, they beat them last week 1-0 and dominated.
CONCACAF Nations League, and it's tough to win down in those places. Obviously, I don't care how much talent you have. It's always something. But you can go to Coolbet today. Canada minus 769. Suriname, if you want to get onto that, plus 2,400.
Wow.
I'm putting a $5 wager on Suriname. I'm taking back 120 if they get a result tonight.
Yeah.
Over-under is 3 goals. The under 0.105, so you might want to look at that. That's maybe some money there. But, it's Canada looking good tonight. They should get it. But lots of internet. I'm so glad the international break's coming to an end. And that's, I think, enough soccer already here on this show. But also NBA Cup. You can get in on that. The Emirates NBA Cup, that continues tonight. And look ahead to the NFL slate, Week 12, once again kicking off Thursday when Pittsburgh visit Cleveland. That division's always tricky. And Pittsburgh's, they came off a tough game against the Ravens. They're minus 3.5 right now in Cleveland. But it's dog pound. It's prime time. If this is Cleveland's Super Bowl of the season, they can really do some damage here for Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Pittsburgh is coming off a huge win.
Yeah.
Like an emotional win.
Yes.
And so do we see a letdown on Thursday?
It'd be interesting to see, but right now you can get the Steelers. We can get the Browns plus 3.5 on that one. Steelers minus 189 on the money line. So Week 12 NFL slate: Canada, Suriname, Nations League. You can also get a lot of other international play. They got all the options for you here up at Coolbet. So if you think, oh yeah, that Suriname, I ain't getting any action on that. Coolbet's got you. Stay cool, bet responsibly. Coolbet.com and our partners there. Let's hit a sports update. No, the word. Get to the word right now. Then we'll do a sports update. Then we'll come back with confessions. I can't wait. Ugh. You told Trev this?
I've told him it's shameful. It is shameful the way I acted.
This is so funny. And it was a public display?
In public. Yeah.
All right. And the fan zone will round out hour number 2 for fans first. The word today, it's the EST Flyway to LA. And once again, time is ticking down on this puppy. You got 10 days now. We'll be doing the draw November 29th, so the 28th is your final day to qualify for this. It is the EST Flyway to LA, presented to you by the 780. You can check them out today in any of their locations, 5 across Edmonton area: Southgate, Londonderry, Kingsway, St. Albert, and the Outlet Mall by the airport. They partner with close to 100 local vendors. Just tons of weird, wild stuff you can get there. They also make their own shirts, which are really nice. Great material from the 780 area code. Check them out today. The word 780 in numbers, the numerical. So type in 7, SEVEN 80, the numbers.com. Check them out online or in their stores today. Text in this word 780-218-9999, and YouTube Trev will pick one of you. He'll call you. You don't have to be by your phone and answer the call, and you'll qualify for the EST Flyway to LA. It is a trip for 2 to Los Angeles, December 26 to 30. Flights, hotel, rental car. You got the Warriors visiting the Clippers. Where do they play basketball? Clippers, LA Clippers.
Into it.
Cardinals and Rams from SoFi. And Edmonton taking on LA or Anaheim in hockey action. All presented by the 780.
780.
Today's word, once again, we'll have it on the screen for all you watching on YouTube. And if you're listening on the iHeart, TuneIn radio apps, we will say it for you as well. We'll do the honors today. Maddie, I want to pick a real good word today. I think you should.
Today's word is golden.
The golden goose, if you will. The golden bear.
Yeah.
The golden state. I think that's where he's going for.
Hey, Maddie, where'd you come up with these words?
I got ChatGPT
He's
to
the
generate
AI.
them.
I think he used Gronk or whatever it is, hey? Yeah.
I used ChatGPT.
This is the most ChatGPT generated word for a contest that has absolutely nothing to do with the NCAA.
Is that where you're pulling it from? Golden. That's where.
I guarantee this is
Golden State Warriors.
You think so?
Well, they are playing on the thing.
Okay.
I'll give them that.
Okay. All right.
We carve them up enough.
Sure.
Golden. Golden is the word. You want to text it in 780-218-9999.
Maybe it's Sacramento Gold Miners. Maybe it's a throwback.
That is his Dunya team.
Yeah.
Tomorrow will be gold. I guarantee you.
Yeah.
Golden.
Golden.
Yeah.
Golden.
The problem with these words is you stare at them too long, you spell them out too long, and they don't make sense anymore. Yeah.
Oh no, that
golden.
You look at that and you're kind of like, isn't there an A in there somewhere?
Yeah.
Or an I? Where am I?
You spell it down the middle. G-O-L. Golden.
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 It should be instead of an E and A.
Yeah. Sure.
English, man. Hey.
Or another gold on.
Gold. I don't mind that. It sounds more kind of like some sort of a wizard.
Or a U. I'd go with a U too. Gold done.
Gold done. Yeah. You could do that. Yeah. Gold or an I. Golden.
Yeah. It all works.
Yeah. I love the English language. It's
you know
very
what?
simple.
Let's just throw a Y in there.
Golden.
And a silent K at the beginning. Followed by a GH. Yeah.
Yes, I before E.
Yeah.
James says Cates is the problem. Look at his choices for GM from the 2015 offseason. We'll get to that. The nasty chat is on fire today. There's lots of places you can go. We're getting up to the owner. We're climbing the ladder here. I love it. Yeah. Golden 780-218-9999. Now the trick is be by the phone and pick it up. If you get a call from a number you may not recognize, pick up the phone. Do yourself a favor. Take the chance. Pick up the phone.
Don't. You did this before.
You're all alone.
It's upsetting.
I got to get the.
You have
where
just been,
is it here?
Who
sent
one
that to me?
upsetting thing after another.
Who sent that to me that one day?
This. I just don't need this abuse. You are sending me lewd pictures at weird times of the evening.
Oh, am I ever?
Abusive. It is becoming a problem.
Who sent me that clip? Pick up the phone. I'm all alone. Pick up the phone, though, if Trev calls you. 780-218-99. Text Golden. He's got a sports update. We'll be back. Will Fraser's got a doozy of a confession in the fan zone for fans first on the way as well. Lieutenant Eric Will Fraser, YouTube Trev, here on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
Sam Montembeault stopped all 30 shots as the Habs blanked the Oilers 3-0 from Montreal. The loss drops Edmonton to 9-8-2 on the season, but the Oilers are back in action tonight in Ottawa to take on the Senators. You can join Tom Gazzola for GCL Diesel pre- and post-game shows right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Coverage gets underway at 4 o'clock. Elsewhere last night, Alex Ovechkin scored twice before leaving in the third period with an apparent left leg injury as the Capitals defeat the Utah 6-2. Ovechkin has 5 goals in his past 2 games, left at 5:30 in the third period and did not return following a collision with Jack McBain. He will be reevaluated later today. The Ducks double up on the Stars 4-2. Sharks defeat the Red Wings 5-4 in overtime. Macklin Celebrini with the OT winner in that one. Blue Jackets top the Bruins 5-1. Boston have now dropped 3 straight. Avs clip the Flyers 3-2. Cale Makar with the pair. And over to the NFL we go. Texans improved to 7-4 with a 34-10 win over the Cowboys, dropping Dallas to 3-7 on the season. Cowboys also 0-5 at home on the season. Week 12 kicks off Thursday when the Steelers visit the Browns. And to finish things off in the association, Raptors picked up a much-needed win against the Pacers, 130-119 is your final. RJ Barrett led the way with 39 points. And the Emirates NBA Cup group stage action continues tonight with 6 games. Cleveland at Boston, Charlotte at Brooklyn, Denver at Memphis, Pelicans at Dallas, OKC in San Antonio, and Utah and LA to face the Lakers. The sports update brought to you by the fine folks at Park Mazda and dealer principal Mitch Lewicki. Mitch's favorite artist of all time is Atif. You got this, Atif.
Hi there. If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you could afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury, but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching a button, thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki with like a giant eagle's wings and singing lead vocals for Lynyrd Skynyrd with like an angel band. And I'm in the crowd hammered drunk.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
What say you? Hey, nasty crew. We got the Nielson Show flu, and there's nothing we can do about it. What say you? Hey, nasty crew. My wife thinks I got better things to do, but there's nothing I can do about it. We're tuning in, not tuning in, we're listening online. We catch up with the podcast when we fall behind. We're texting in the nasty chat, what's on our mind. 780-218-9999. No more interference from corporate interest. Just Tuffy and Eric and all of the bad cats like Brzezinski and Noodles. Captain can gauge it. Maybe it's fun but a cool band to make a little wager. We can't wait for the Monday mandate. Shaggy's always on time. Tommy's always late.
Would you like a cup of tea?
Forget about the old place. Hey, we were number 1 in the text race. We don't miss all the commercial breaks, but we sure miss Nickelback today. We wanna hear some Huntix and we wanna hear Renee. Wanna hold the neck up when I wanna kiss away. Beat us to tie a fire and remember that name. We love every goal song, but what about the games? Macramella, Rapapo, Dragger, Engineer. It ain't Christmas season, but they sound like reindeer. Button and my cousin and the tales of the North. All about the game and present, Dusty go forth. What say you? AM Nasty Crew. We got the Nielson Show flu. And there's nothing we can do about it. And there's nothing we can do about it. And there's nothing we can do about it.
7:37. It is the Lieutenant Eric Show. Comrade Will Fraser, the Nielson Show, presented by Southport Chevrolet. Drive a little, save a lot. Check them out today. www.southportchevrolet.com. We are streaming on the iHeart and TuneIn radio apps, and of course on YouTube as well. The pursuit of 200 likes continues. Smash that thumbs up, pound the like button, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Nasty Chad is humming. It's loving it. I did happen to find a little something for you here.
Okay.
Play it.
Don't have to be alone tonight. Don't be lonely. Just call me. Let's party. Pick up the phone. We can have a really good time. Pick up the phone. You call me. Pick up the phone.
This call is free. 1-800-967-8080. Call now and talk live. That's 1-800-967-8080.
Pick up the phone.
Call now.
It's not actually free, Atif.
Yeah. Atif is just dialing. Atif, pick up the phone if you get a call. Don't dial the number.
Yeah, we're going to get a lot of busy signals now when we're dialing out for our winner. Yeah,
I guess
Sorry,
that's the problem.
I was on the other line.
Phoning this 1-800-967-8080 number. Pick up the phone, though. YouTube Chef's going to give somebody a call here in a matter of seconds. Once again, let's get to confessions here for Spectrum Rental. I'll get the show back on track here as best as we can. Will Fraser in for the next couple of days. Tomorrow, as you said, might be the final ride.
For another 7 years.
Yeah,
I'm good.
I like that, eh? Yeah. Came back, had a
See
taste.
you again in 7, folks.
He's back in the wilderness. Confessions, though, brought to you by Spectrum Rental, where they confess to always eating liver before a night of heavy drinking, so the alcohol doesn't know which one to attack. Call the guys at Spectrum Rental to find out how they can help you heat your winter construction project.
That's a journey.
Wouldn't put it past them. Confessions. If you have any confessions fantasy-wise, that's what the segment spurred out of. 780-218-9999. Get them in. Or in the Nasty Chat. But you mentioned, Will, you were a bad boy yesterday.
You should lead with me. Does Trev not have a confession of something? Oh, he's waiting on us.
He's trying picking up the phone.
Do you not have a confession? Like, my confession is so bad, it's just going to steal.
Well, I didn't necessarily do anything bad. I confess that I attempted to put up my Christmas lights over the weekend, and I couldn't.
Too early.
What do you mean too early? Well, you do it before the weather turns here.
No, you just...
Sunday was the play before Grey Cup. It was pretty mild out, and now this week the temperatures drop, and you're flicking on the lights, and it's great.
All right. I wait until the first Sunday of Advent.
Well, I confess I usually put up the lights after Grey Cup. Put up the decorations after Grey Cup. I'll be doing that this Saturday, actually. The tree goes up. The whole bit. It's going to be live. It's going to be beautiful.
I believe it. It sounds wonderful.
I can't wait.
All right, so here's my confession.
Get to it.
All right, it's not a fantasy
long
confession.
Enough.
It is a shameful thing that I did yesterday. I acted like a total spoiled brat.
A meltdown.
Almost. For me it was. This is the ultimate meltdown for me. Okay, so on the way home yesterday, stopped in for groceries.
Yes.
At the old Superstore.
Isn't that the best after this shift? To get the morning, it's nice and dead in there. Like
sure it is, except for
very stress free.
The problem is that Mondays, especially between like 10 and 2 at the Superstore in Spruce Grove, it's kind of when the retired people do their weekly grocery shopping for the entire area. Like from as far away as Barhead, people come in.
Oh boy!
So it can be a little busy. It can be a little busy in the old Superstore, and a little slow as well. It's not just that there's a lot of people, but there's a lot of people who need to hold on to the cart to make their way down.
I assume the parking lot as well kind of has a bit of the same flair to it.
So I'm never in a good mood when I'm in there at those times of days. I'm always a little annoyed, but I usually get over it. Yesterday, I don't know what it was. It's like I knew the Oilers were going to disappoint. I was just
He was in the air.
I was in a mood, and I'm not proud of this. But I don't know about you, but the greatest invention in grocery shopping over the last decade has been the self-checkout. Now, I know there are those who don't like it. God bless you. You like the personal interaction. I personally don't like having someone surveil my grocery choices.
Okay.
Like, the worst conversation I can possibly have is someone commenting on the type of bread that I'm buying. I don't need the commentary. Anyways, I love self-checkout. I roll into the self-checkout, and this is an expanded self-checkout now. There's like 14 self-checkouts.
A huge bay, yeah.
It's a big area. And one of the attendants.
Jimbo says Will hates people having jobs, so we'll just let that. Okay,
true.
Go on.
I hate people having certain jobs.
Certain jobs, yes.
One of them is a checkout clerk who decides they want to comment on the things that I'm purchasing.
I hear you.
None of their business. Anyways, and one of the attendants walks up to me and goes, "I'm sorry, it's 25 items or less." And like, I'm not doing a big grocery shopping trip. I'm like, "Are you sure?"
25. There's a count here.
Yeah, and I go, and I say, "Are you sure?" And she goes, "Yeah, I'm afraid so." And I was like, "All right." And so I wheel out, and you need to understand, I'm not upset with this person.
Okay,
I am not upset with this. They have a job, and they have a boss who tells them to do their job, and clearly they'd had some sort of a staff meeting that they decided they needed to crack down.
They're being watched. Yeah, they have to perform.
On the item scofflaws.
That's you.
That are happening. Yeah. So this was not I was not personally upset with the attendant who informed me of this. And so I roll out and I do a count, and I have 28 items. The person was not wrong. I was over.
Wow.
But at this point, like, there is all there is lineups at all the tills. And I just grabbed my tub and I walked out.
You left it all.
I just
all
left,
28 items.
I just left the cart right there in the middle of the aisle and walked away. And I felt good about it for all of 5 seconds. And I wasn't even halfway back to my vehicle before I immediately started feeling guilty about what I had just done. It was the most temper tantrumy, immature sort of, like, the mature thing to do would be like, "You're right. Obviously rules are rules.
Now you got to go.
Anarchy.
You got to go wait now.
I don't
you
care
don't want
about
to
that. But you mean for a lineup?
Well, you have to. Yeah, you saw it staring down the barrel for you, and you're like, "No, I'm not."
But it
having
was
this.
one of those moments where I was like, I wasn't upset with her. I just decided Galen Weston doesn't need my money today.
He doesn't need anybody's money.
Galen Weston doesn't get my money today. I'm walking out. But what a shameful thing to do. What an absolute temper tantrum. Like,
and you do know the clerks now have to put all those things back,
right?
That you left
that's
there.
Exactly.
That takes time.
That's honestly all that's been rolling through my head is that. But then I was also kind of like, wait a minute, they get paid an hourly wage. Like
they do, yeah.
Like it's not like they.
It's actually kind of fun sometimes. Oh, that card needs to go back. Oh, I'll do it.
Yeah,
yeah.
Right. Like, but yeah, not my finest moment.
Could you not have in the moment? I mean, it's 25 or less on the nose. You were at 28. Could you not have said, "Hey, maybe I don't need the
honestly
the Q-tips"?
Honestly, that's the only thing that is making me being able to talk about it is that in my head I almost just dropped 3 items.
Why not?
On the floor.
You could have made a cut, right? Like there's something there that you could have cut.
I almost dropped 3 items on the floor and rolled back in.
Yeah.
And I was like, nope, that would be more petty.
I don't think so. You're just okay. Those are the rules. Sure. You could have made a cut. There's something in there that you don't need.
No.
3 items.
Sure, but I was not going to go back and put them back on the shelf. So then I would have been the guy that just sort of drops them at random. And so I'm not proud of myself. It was not a great moment.
Lars Weiss says, "Will, it's not that bad. He's got your back here." That Owen guy says, "I would have pulled out 4 items, go back to the self-checkout." You did have an option there. But leaving the cart and doing that silent protest.
Yeah.
Yeah. You didn't scream anything on your way out.
I said, for 5 seconds, I
did
felt
you yell
really
Utica?
good.
Utica when you left the...
Utica, you mean Gattaca?
Whatever, I don't know. Same thing.
Utica!
Stony Plain! Parkland County! Parkland County!
I'm going to start shouting Utica from now on. I love that.
Same thing.
Utica! Don't you mean Gattaca?
No.
That too!
I think in the confusion of the whole grocery store thing, that would have been better.
Just a shameful display from a 47-year-old father of two. Like, just
nobody knows though.
What a baby.
No.
What an absolute baby. Like, if I had seen somebody do that, I would have had some real judgments made.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See?
Oh, Trev agrees.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
He does
Will.
think it's shameful, don't you?
It's very disrespectful.
Yeah, it is. Like, it's kind of...
Out of anyone to do it,
I know.
I would not have you on that list.
I was very disappointed in myself the rest of the day.
Rip City Steps says, Comrade Will v. the Oligarchs. You're taking on the Oligarchs now. And then VR Montenegro said, is there appropriate signage for the 25 limit? Were you...
Oh, no. Like, I'm not protesting.
Okay. Utica.
My guilt.
Utica.
Yeah, exactly. Utica.
You should have yelled something on the way out. A parting spike.
Utica!
Who we got on the line for the EST Flyway to LA, Trev? Who do we got?
This is Damien on the line.
Oh,
Damien.
Goodness.
Hello, Damien.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Yeah. Congrats on getting in, man. Have you qualified yet, or is it the first time?
This is the first time I've tried, but I'm glad I got through this time.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Yeah, this is a great day for you. If you did win this trip, who are you taking with you to LA?
I'd probably take my son.
Oh, that's nice. How old's the boy?
He is 11 now.
A great father-son trip just after that Christmas season. Once again, it's December 26th to 30 there. Flights, hotel, rental car. What would you and your son, if you do win, Damien, be looking forward to most? You got the basketball, Warriors, Clippers, Cardinals, Rams in the NFL, or Edmonton taking on one of LA or Anaheim in hockey?
Well, I've never been to an Oilers game outside Edmonton. So for myself, the Oilers, and my son is into basketball, so he would enjoy that.
Love it. So a lot of itches would be scratched on that trip. Well, Damien, once again, you can qualify 4 times daily here on EST, and you can get in as much as you can. So draw will be on the 29th of November. Good luck the rest of the way, man.
Thanks, guys. You have a good day.
You too.
You too.
Damien's son, 11. That'd be a great trip. That's the one I can get behind. You know, that's not bad. I like that. They like kind of all the random sports there, so they'd really enjoy themselves. Once again, the EST Flyway to LA presented by the 780. Check them out today, 780.com. The word 7, the numbers 80.com, or any other stores in and around Edmonton area. Your next chance to qualify, 9 to 11 on the Hangout this morning with Matthew Iwanek, Tom Gazzola, and friends. Trevor, was there anything you'd like to confess as well, just as we get out of confessions here for Spectrum Rental? No. Well,
like,
that's okay. We don't. Yes or no. We can just kind of.
Yeah. Let's.
Yeah.
I'll move on. Like I have a weak one.
The
I have
hesitation
a weak one.
of shame.
Well,
that's what that sounded like.
Well, like I feel bad that I don't have a confession really. Well, yeah. Okay.
You
well,
do, yes.
the one thing that I will say I'm proud of now that I got the new place.
Confess pride. Go for it.
Yes.
Yeah. Now that I got the new place, I haven't ate out once, and I guess it's just confessing that last year my diet was really bad.
Yeah.
Your body's a temple now.
Are you amazed at how much more money you have as well?
Yeah, like it's saving up on the money for sure, but like driving into work, stop at, whether it's whatever.
Hard.
Yeah, and then I'd go home.
It's as if it's addictive or something.
I'd have no time in the kitchen
RFK
at all.
was right.
And then I'd have to be on my way back here because I had to do pre and post game shows. So on my way back, I'd usually stop at a drive-through, and then as soon as pre and post game's done, on my way home, I'd go through another drive-through.
Yeah.
I spent way too much time.
Yep.
So I confess that it was not, it was not good for me last year, but I'm happy with the fact that I can make all sorts of food now. So.
You're living healthy. You're looking trim.
Yes.
You're feeling good. You're sleeping good.
Yes.
It's all go.
I should show you pictures of Will Fraser from a couple of years ago.
Ooh.
That's your ghost of Christmas future. Like that's what.
Sucking down those ice caps,
exactly.
You look really good, Will. I will say. I did see. Yeah, you look really
ass.
good.
I mean, come on.
I had a long ways to go.
You guys are putting in the work, and I love it. Let's get in the fan zone now for Fans First. Fansfirst.ca is where you can Oilers tickets and other day. If you're looking for tickets to stuff, Fans First is where you go, and you never know, you might find a good deal. Fansfirst.ca, by fans for fans, no fees. Get your tickets for the Oilers and other things all season long. The fan zone, it's
the fan zone.
Well, the fan zone. We're going to stick with the hockey.
Zone.
Obviously, you wanted to go NBA today. We're kind of not. You wanted to talk the Raptors, a much-needed win. Texans as well, getting the job done on Monday Night Football, although at times it was kind of like pulling teeth. But it's Oilers fan zone once again. What's wrong with the Oilers right now? What's the main thing? We've gone to there's power playing, there's goaltending, there's Bouchard every second night, there's injuries, there's net front presence, there's low danger shot count. There's I management, coaching, construction. What's the number one thing you think is plaguing this Oilers team right now? 780-218-9999 or in the nasty chat. You can only pick one. This is like you at the checkout, but instead of 25 items, it can only be one. You get into the checkout, just one, sir. Yeah, but I have three things. No, just one.
I have the same compulsion to this. I just want to leave my cart and walk away.
Utica.
Yeah. Utica.
I swear that's what it was. This is a Berenstain Bears thing for me. Are you sure? Dog day afternoon. Lines.
Utica.
I'm sure it was.
Oh my God. It is now.
What are they chanting in Dog Day Afternoon? Attica. You said Gattaca. Yeah. I said Utica. We're in the middle. It's Attica.
Oh. Well, we're meeting halfway again. There you go.
Attica.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the prison, right? Yeah, okay.
Attica.
Man. Tommy G in the nasty chat. No wrench, so you know it was a fun night. Morning nasties. Tough to win when you don't score. So, Tommy, again, #fanzone. Just lack of scoring for him.
Sure.
Which can be caused by a multitude of things. So we're not really kind of getting there.
Many reasons.
This is saying Utica when it should be Attica.
Yeah.
But goal scoring is the biggest issue. Fan zone, Big Uke. Well, okay, so that's simple as that. Score goals, win games.
Mm-hmm.
I guess, but I mean, what leads you to, again, getting shut out 2-0, well, 3-0 with the empty netter in Montreal? Burglar says goaltending.
Okay.
Can't score from the net, that's...
It is. We talked about this yesterday. 9 times out of 10, that's the right answer. So I don't know why we should probably think it's anything else. A 3-0 shutout, though, it's hard to blame goaltending. But in general, goaltending is usually the right answer for why something didn't happen right for your hockey team. The answer for the Oilers right now, and this is why it's so frustrating. This is why...
Because you can't do anything about it?
Yes,
or what you're going to say here?
Because there is nothing to be done, because nothing should be done. The answer is the power play.
Yeah. It's the one constant that you can, again, Bouchard some nights, sure. Goaltending some nights, sure.
Yeah.
Sure, if you don't score any goals and you get shut out, that's an issue, but it's not happening every single night.
The answer to why the Oilers don't have 3 more wins on the year...
Utica!
Yeah, it's the power play. And what should they do about the power play? Absolutely nothing. That is the greatest power play we've ever seen assembled in the NHL. It's the exact same personnel on the ice every single night. So what needs to be done? Nothing needs to be done. We need to remain patient because sooner or later that talent will regain its form.
But if you listen to a Chiefs song for Dusty Nelson that we played earlier today, if you listen to that over and over and over again, eventually you'll know the words and you'll be able to sing that puppy.
Sure.
So there was talk last night, Central Casino Sports Bar and Lounge with some Oilers fans there, and yes, it is the best. Historically, the numbers don't lie.
Right.
But perhaps maybe, a bit of a variation on it. Like, don't blow it up.
Right.
But maybe teams have now found ways to crack the code and shut it down and beat it. And
you're right.
So you're going to have to, but then you can't just leave it.
Teams have adjusted.
Yes. And then
they need to adjust
it.
And who do you think needs to make those adjustments? Is it the coaching staff needs to make the adjustments or the guys executing the power play?
Well, I think you could argue maybe a little from A, from B.
I think when you have a Connor McDavid and a Leon Draisaitl, yes, you can have that team meeting, but you basically sit down and go, guys, it's on you. Like, figure it out. Whatever. We'll break down the film for you. We'll show you maybe some of the areas that you're not noticing. But it was interesting to me that Connor McDavid goes out to an injury. They ask him, hey, what did you notice while you're up in the stands? And he goes, puck retrieval. We're not winning the races to loose pucks to maintain possession. He comes back, their power play clicks because they start going and retrieving those pucks. Were they retrieving pucks last night? No, they weren't. They were once again losing those foot races on the power play. To me, that's not a personnel because it's the exact same personnel. That is the same personnel not executing the way they had been.
Bobby LaFrench says special teams is a reflection of focus and intensity. maybe you can add that in there as well, right? Like, it's kind of maybe what you're getting to is...
No, special teams is a reflection of talent, right? Like,
yes, but if you can have the talent, but if you're not also...
We have seen many teams out there with all the effort in the world, and if you don't have the talent to convert, it's just not going to happen. We have also seen power plays with all the talent in the world get into a groove.
So Quenneville shouting wouldn't fix the power play, is what you're saying?
No. Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl will fix the power play when and if they decide to fix it.
Joel says being too cute. Nature Boy says the problem is the Oilers are playing typical pre-Christmas Oilers hockey. We've gotten to that, and it's driving us all crazy. The fan zone. Yeah, that's what it is. You shouldn't be catching anybody off surprise. Tom Gazzola is getting congratulated and ripped in the nasty chat as well.
Oh, congratulations
Tommy is a winner. Rip City Step. Box Pounder says Tommy never has trouble scoring.
Where is this coming from?
Well,
that's
why they call it the nasty chat.
They're absolutely right.
Tom, great job last night as well in the GCL Diesel pre and the postgame show. People were fired up last night. Tuned into a bit of that at the Central Casino Sports Bar and Lounge, being on Prime. Yes, we've all heard that as an excuse or a reason. Even Tommy changes up his moves if it's not working.
I don't know. Does he?
The same old.
No, that guy. Yeah. Yeah.
Great hair and looking great on the Bozone. I'm at it as well. You've watched the Bozone, the hunting.
That's all exclusively.
Yes, and so we thank him for that. Somebody also
Utica.
mentioning here. Where is it here? Somebody prefers Utica because it reminds him of the AHL.
Sure. Yeah.
Keeping with the hockey theme.
Sure.
I get it. 7:58. It is the Lieutenant Eric / Will Fraser / Nielson Show. Dusty will be back. I know people are still asking, texts flying in, nasty chat comments. He'll be back today on EST, just not at the HQ. He'll be by his satellite studios at home doing the lock shop, and Two Guys Oil Stream over the next couple of days. Scheduled to be back in that chair Thursday morning. So today's Tuesday, tomorrow's Wednesday, which will mean your last show tomorrow.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
Ready.
We will have a cavalcade of stars filing in, all kind of behind a curtain. You can try to guess which one they are. They'll say something, that type of thing.
It's going to be a real tearjerker.
Maybe we'll wax our noses again just for old time's sake.
Probably do.
Can you do anything with my eyebrows? I know that you said those are getting...
Would you like me to bring in some eyebrow stuff?
I guess so. I mean, it's your last show.
Let's do eyebrows tomorrow.
I'll do whatever you want.
I was honestly looking at my eyebrows the other day going, I need to hammer these.
I don't even know what I need to do. They seem nice fine eyebrows.
To me. They're not out of control.
I don't have a conjoiner. Like, there's no uni,
no,
right?
I've got the caterpillar kissing. That's... yeah.
So Dustin Nielsen, there you have it. He should be back here on this show Thursday, but he will be back kind of load managing his way into EST here over the next couple of days. So stay tuned for that. That'll be on the Lock Shop later today. 7:59. If you want to play kind of easy trivia, Will is just putting the finishing touches.
I am.
Hot off the press.
We're going to need a long ticker.
That ink is still wet. Very wordy questions
we're going to
today.
need a long ticker.
You're playing for Mr. Mike's, GC to Mr. Mike's right now. The Fiesta Fusion is on. So if you want to play today, 780-218-9999. Text in the Paris Jewelers inbox right now. And if you want to play... Hampton Steve says Utica. It's Attica. Say it right. Yeah, you're just getting up. You missed it all.
That's quite a delay.
We thought it was Gattaca. And then he texts in the Chowder. Chowder. It's Chowder, yeah. Simpsons. I love the Simpsons polls here over the past couple weeks. It's been great. Chris, stand-up job, Hampton Steve.
Say it.
Say it.
Say it.
Frenchie. 780-218-9999. If you want to play YouTube Travel, pick one of you. 3 questions too many as well. Coming up, That Hurts. Joaquin Gage and an orange and blue breakfast, all before the wrap. In the third hour of the show here on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. YouTube Trev, take it away.
Sam Montembeault stopped all 30 shots as the Habs blanked the Oilers 3-0 from Montreal. The loss drops Edmonton to 9-8-2 on the season, but the Oilers are back in action tonight in Ottawa to take on the Senators. You can join Tom Gazzola for the GCL Diesel pre- and post-game shows right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Coverage gets underway at 4 o'clock. Elsewhere last night, Alex Ovechkin scored twice before leaving in the third period with an apparent left leg injury as the Capitals defeated Utah 6-2. Ovechkin, who has 5 goals in the past 2 games, left at 5:30 in the third and did not return following a collision with Jack McBain. He will be reevaluated later today. The Ducks double up on the Stars 4-2. Sharks defeat the Red Wings 5-4 in overtime. Macklin celebrating with the OT winner. Blue Jackets top the Bruins 5-1. Boston have dropped 3 straight. Avs clipped the Flyers 3-2. Cale Makar with the pair in that one. And over to the NFL we go. Texans improved to 7-4 with a 34-10 win over the Cowboys, dropping Dallas to 3-7. Cowboys also 0-5 at home on the season. Week 12 kicks off on Thursday when the Steelers visit the Browns. Raptors picked up a much-needed win against the Pacers, 130-119 your final. RJ Barrett led the way with 39 points. And the Emirates NBA Cup group stage action continues tonight with 6 games. Cleveland at Boston, Charlotte at Brooklyn, Denver at Memphis, Pelicans at Dallas, OKC in San Antonio, and Utah and LA to face the Lakers. Take your career to the next level with Claiborne Services. They're hiring all positions, including journeyman bricklayers and apprentices of all levels. Take advantage of their outstanding mentorship program and work with peace of mind, knowing they're an industry leader in safety. Visit www.claiborneservices.com or make it easy and give Jeff a call at 780-910-6728.
To the hollow, the devil may care. If I showed you around my heart, would you mind if I shared to show you what's wrong with me? I will not change it. I will wait patiently while you get painted out. Let me into your untainted tribe to be the one who gets to live a lie. Oh, let me lie with you. I'll be a perfect stranger. I wanna be that stupid boy that you don't talk about. You better believe there's a sharp knife beside my bed. You better believe there's a sharp knife inside my head. And if you would leave, I would take you by the hand. You and I would leave, but it wouldn't be that bad.
8:04, you're tuned in to the Lieutenant Eric Show with Comrade Will Fraser, Dustin Nielson Show. He'll be back Thursday, scheduled to be back Thursday, but he will be returning on load management over the next couple of days on the Lock Shop, on the Oil Stream, on Two Guys and a Goalie right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. You can check us out on the iHeart and TuneIn radio apps and, of course, on YouTube. That nice wide shot. Gotta love it. Somebody asking if Sarah McLachlan might be in studio tomorrow doing her in-studio performance of I Will Remember You with 1L. That would be her version, your version of the of that song. 780-218-9999, the Paris Jewelers inbox. I want to let you know as well, it's getting to be that season, so a lot of places, Black Friday now sale, Paris Jewelers up to 70% off selected items. Huge selection of in-stock gifts and engagement rings for the holiday proposal. And flexible payment options, such as do not pay until 2026. And a portion of sales from their holiday collection will also be donated to the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Canada. So going to a good place as well. And if that sweetie, that's somebody in your life, or maybe you're looking to make amends, Paris Jewelers is the place to go. Pretty nice day outside as well. Mix of sun and cloud. I think a high of -6. Temperatures continue to kind of slide down that ruler as we make our way through the week. So be aware of that. I guess for the colder days, you'll be back home. And what do you do when you're not here? I guess some people have asked, what's Fraze up to when he's not doing the show?
What am I not up to?
That's the answer.
Neighborhood watch.
Just kind of a patrolman for the lineman on the county.
That's right.
Of the county.
Yeah. Just
Utica.
I slow roll gravel roads in the Parkland County area.
You might see him driving around.
Just lurk into front windows. Yeah. Everything okay in here?
Oh. Oh, man, I love it. We got questions right now from Will Fraser. I'm going to miss these as well for the 3 questions, or kind of easy trivia. 3 questions, too many coming up as well. Trev, we got a contestant on the line. Who do we got today?
That Owen guy is going to give it a go.
That Owen guy.
That Owen
guy.
Guy Owen?
Owen guy.
Oh, all right.
Hello, that Owen guy.
Hello, that Eric guy.
Yeah. Have you played trivia before?
Oh, yeah, lots of times.
Okay, well, you have an undefeated record?
I had a dream Trevor Harris was trying to kill me.
What was that?
Again?
I had a dream Trevor Harris was trying to kill me.
I have no idea.
Like the quarterback or the listener? We have a listener named Trevor Harris, too.
It's fine. It was a joke I made to Dusty on Easy.
And he laughed.
Oh,
it got
months ago.
Dusty. Yeah. It was just Dusty.
All of a sudden.
It was just Dusty and I for that one. So it was pretty good. I know what you're talking about, man.
Well, that's okay. Well, we'll get into it then. That Owen guy. You need 3 out of 5. You know how it goes. You know how this game works. I'll start. Well, Trev will start the ticker after I read the first question provided by Will Fraser. Good luck. You're playing for
quick.
$25 to Mr. Mike's.
Sounds good.
Okay, Canada plays Suriname tonight in CONCACAF action. Name another CONCACAF nation.
Mexico.
RJ Barrett scored 39 points last night. Name another Canadian NBA player.
Shea Gilgeous-Alexander.
Ovechkin had 2 goals last night. Name another Russian hockey player.
Andrei Kuzmenko.
Taylor Swift is performing in Toronto. Name another recording artist.
Pharrell Williams.
Dustin Nielson returns to EST later today. Name another EST member.
YTT.
There you go. 5 out of 5.
Sounds like he's got a favorite.
Another 5! Are you kidding me? That's right! Who do you think you are? I am! Get it right!
You can't have a newcomer come in and steal the show.
That's a paddling.
Oh, we've been strong. We're just playing by the rules.
Ooh, you better believe that's a paddling.
And I was in Miami with my new beach house. Well, it was a couple minutes from the beach.
That's a paddling.
The first year we took it to the limit.
You cannot come to my house. No, not today. You cannot come to my house. No, not today.
Congratulations to that Owen guy. He's going to Mr. Mike's where the Fiesta Fusion is on.
How does that feel, Trev? You were mentioned in the same breath as Pharrell Williams, Andrei Kuzmenko, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander,
and Mexico.
And the country of Mexico.
And Mexico.
We're on Mexico.
That's a good list.
That's
a good list to be in.
That's some elite company
There you
there.
go.
That's a good list.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a nice guy. I like that Owen guy.
Yeah, well, obviously.
Yeah, cool dude.
He
Guy's
really
got your own inside jokes
He
and
really
everything.
likes you. He really likes it. Patatas Bravas, Fusion Feast Platter, and Chili Lime Ribeye, all at Mr. Mike's right now, and $1 from every entree sold. I'll help nourish a hungry child through a local breakfast program in this community. Eat locally, enjoy casually at Mr. Mike's. 3 questions to many right now, brought to you by Park Mazda and dealer principal Mitch Lewicki, who moonlights as that Owen guy. Park Mazda, your dealer for life.
That Owen guy does deserve some credit. That was a good poll. To do Andrei Kuzmenko as his other Russian, and then Pharrell Williams as his recording artist. Those are good polls.
I thought, again, we mentioned Sarah McLachlan, maybe top of mind. You just kind of say that, but he really had his favorites there, as illustrated by the final answer.
Yeah, exactly.
He really loves you.
That was a deep poll.
He really likes you.
He's a big fan.
He's a big fan.
He's got a lot of time for Trevor.
That's good.
That's good.
Social media. Where can people find you on social media?
Nowhere.
Wilfred?
You can't. I hope you don't look.
Still not. Hey,
Yeah.
you're still not. I would have thought maybe doing this over the past couple of weeks kind of reinvigorated you. You're back online.
No. If anything, it's really confirmed my decision to not be on it.
The other way. Yeah, okay,
it's
I like
really
that. Well,
cemented
yeah.
that in.
That's good
I
for
thought
you.
I've made some healthy life choices.
Do you even have like a YouTube profile or account? I would have thought you'd have a
People are
channel.
gonna look and don't.
Hello?
Don't.
Hello. Will.
No, don't. It's not gonna. it's not going to be good.
Oh, of course I'm just getting this. Well,
now,
how do I?
Now you're just going to get all my EST Hangout appearances, which are pretty legendary.
Your Hangout with Dean, we need another one of those before the Christmas season. You and Dean need to square off again in the under those lights.
Just old timey boxing.
Here it is.
Yeah.
EST Hangout. It's you between Gazzola and Iwanic.
Yeah.
It's you and YTT and Iwanic.
Yeah.
And then a few others.
Yeah.
You and Scott Laurie. You and Murray McCourt.
Oh, Scott Laurie.
You and Jasmine. Yeah. You need Scotty back too.
Yeah.
Scott, if you're listening, Engineers Christmas Party, December 6th. Okay, well, you're not, no social media for you. YouTube, Trev, take this time to pump your social media accounts, please, for the people.
Yeah, you can give me a follow at YouTube _Trev. YouTube Trev was taken, so I had to put an underscore in there.
It was taken.
Tooken.
No.
Taken?
No. You said it right.
Oh,
but
thank you.
I can't believe it was.
I know. There's another YouTube Trev out there.
Have you tried to make contact with him?
No.
I'll give you $15 for that name.
Why do I want to? I wouldn't want.
Didn't Rod Pearson do that in Vegas? He met a guy with a briefcase and got the handle. Yeah, you should set up a business transaction. Meet the guy.
I don't want to. I like underscores cooler. Anyway.
Yeah.
Sure. I've heard that a lot actually.
Okay, well, LT doesn't
underscores
think so.
are cooler.
Yeah. But YouTube _Trev on Instagram, Twitter,
On
and you
everything.
can follow us as well. Yeg Sports Talk on Twitter.
Are you on Snapchat?
Maybe.
Oh, he is.
Of course he is.
What do you think he's doing on that phone all morning?
Exactly. Yeah.
I grew up on it, I guess. So
Find him if you can.
Wasn't great.
What are your Snapchat settings? Like, how long do people have to look at it before it disappears?
Infinite.
Infinite.
Yeah, I don't.
Never take it down.
I don't. Yeah, I don't have. I'm not. I hate that that's an option. Because it's.
Oh, I love it.
Especially I grew up on it, so that was usually I'm not gonna lie, that was my way of contacting people, and so people would send full-on paragraphs and they give me 2 seconds. And I'm
quite honestly,
that's
I
annoying.
think the world would be a better place if that was a mandatory setting on all social medias.
Yeah.
That after a day, man, it's not there anymore.
Yeah,
so
it's just gone.
Yeah, well, oh boy, yeah.
The world would be a better place if we had a shorter memory.
No
of things.
receipts.
Yeah,
that's fair.
So give you YouTube Trev a follow today as well. And as you mentioned, the Edmonton Sports Talk accounts, because then you'll be all up to date with everything happening. It's great. Today is International Men's Day.
Thank God. It's about time.
You've heard it from some.
It is about time.
When do we get our day?
When is the world finally going to wake up?
Of course,
our plight.
November is a month now set aside for men's health, and we're not going to. Again, serious stuff here. That's fine and good, but I find it funny. International Men's Day. Will Fraser and Trev, play along if you want. Your favorite man
of all men,
of all men, of all time.
All time
can be deceased. Can be. I mean, they have to be alive or born. You can't say a future man unless you have one in mind. It's a loaded question.
It's a really
you have
loaded question.
Would you
Jesus Christ?
Okay. Yeah. Well, he's a very popular man.
Yeah.
Historical.
Sure.
Favorite '90s man.
Man of the '90s. Eddie Vedder.
John Stamos.
Yeah.
Stamos?
No.
Vedder.
Eddie. And Stamos is a man of the '80s.
Is he an '80s guy?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. He'll be '90s to me.
That's when he was Blackie on General Hospital.
Okay, so Vedder. This is a bit of a theme, though. You mentioned Vedder. Maybe Eddie might be on your farewell show tomorrow as well. Maybe we get him in here. Wouldn't that be something?
Don't tease me. Come on, stop it.
Hello, Will. You might remember me from such a. Yeah.
He made YouTube tolerable for me when the Kennedy Center for the Arts, they honored YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
They brought Eddie Vedder in to sing U2 songs to U2. If I was a recording artist, I would not want that. I would not want.
I'm surprised you didn't say Bono, or at least mention him as well.
I would not want Eddie
man.
Vedder to come in and sing my music because it would just sound bad. It's kind of like you hear about 9 Inch Nails and how they were upset when Johnny Cash wanted to sing Hurt.
Yes.
And then they heard it, and then they were upset because they knew it wasn't their song anymore. I would kind of feel the same way if I was a recording artist and Eddie Vedder came and decided to cover one of my songs. Don't do that. People will like it more.
Nasty chat, play along as well. I'm seeing Carrot Top, Donald Trump, Tony Danza, Scott Steiner, my dad from Fergie's Prostate, Alan Thicke. As well.
Oh, boner.
Yeah. Trev, do you have a favorite man? Is it that Owen guy?
Oh, that Owen guy's definitely on the
Give me a
list.
simple as
I
that.
was on his list, so he's on my list
Clearly,
for sure.
you're on his list.
He
think
really likes you.
Aside from all the family, there's a lot of cool like that. Yeah, but I'm gonna go with maybe, and he's no longer with us, but Steve Irwin. That was a childhood hero,
the crocodile.
Interesting.
hero of mine. Just
The guy
radiates
who
happiness.
died doing exactly what we thought he was going to die doing.
Yes.
Yeah. The most predictable death ever to happen.
You could have saw it coming, but
Yeah.
I remember just watching all of his shows growing up.
Pissing off wild animals, Steve.
Yep.
Stop it.
But just like radiates happiness. Just watching some of his stuff. It's pretty. I don't know. It's heartwarming. It is.
My favorite man is from Man Tracker. Because why?
One of the
Man Tracker?
contestants?
Man Tracker,
Like
the
the
guy with the
actual Man
beard.
Tracker?
That got real mad. Oh, I know where they are. And then he'd,
Wasn't he your neighbor?
smell the wind. You know the guy.
He'd
Yeah.
actually get like livid that he couldn't find. He was like, oh.
He got so mad.
He's like, they beat me.
I watched it
Like,
just for that.
simmer
I
down,
loved it.
simmer-
Yeah.
That was my favorite.
Yeah,
Oh, that
he's
was,
a guy with a temper.
what a great show
Yeah.
that was.
Yeah.
Him or Wheeler Walker Jr. They kind of look alike.
Yeah.
I'll go with Man Tracker. Final answer.
Yeah. Have you ever seen Survivor Man?
Survivor Man.
Yeah.
Is that with Jeff Probst?
No, it's another Canadian guy who
Oh yeah, that guy.
drops
And he
himself in the middle of the wilderness.
Eats like snake
he's
piss
good.
and
Oh, yeah.
stuff.
He's
Yeah.
good.
He does it all.
Survivor
Yes.
Man.
Yeah.
He's legit too.
Yeah.
Well, legitimately insane.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing normal about people who
Well,
do
he
that.
does this stuff so we don't have to. I don't mind. Like if somebody's got to do it,
It just feels like he doesn't get along with his wife. That's what it feels like.
You're not on social media, so you know. Trev, you might know. Who's that guy that always gets the bug bites? He'll get like the most exotic bugs.
Coyote Peterson.
That's the one. So he just gets the most and he's like, I'm gonna bite it. Ow! And he goes, that hurt. And every time it's just like, yeah, of course.
He did the sting test. And
It's hilarious.
He started
Yep,
with like
that hurts
a
as
cow
well.
fly, and
Yeah.
then the bullet ant is like
I'm changing my answer.
sting in the world.
Changing your
and his reactions on it, like some of them.
It's so,
like,
but you know what's
like-
gonna happen. He's like, I wonder how.
Yeah, he's like, and he's just,
It burns.
man, oh,
I
I could
wonder
never do that.
how this thing that millions of people
Oh,
have
man.
described as excruciating
Look at this
pain
guy.
will
He's got a
feel.
little hat and he wears a handkerchief.
Yeah.
You got to check that out. It's great stuff. Coyote Peterson, final answer.
Good content.
Usually an ascot is a good tip off that this ain't a normal dude.
He does it all. And you never know. And then he's like, oh, this burns and it hurts. Coyote Peterson, final answer. Once again, play along. Your dad, everybody's dad. I get that. Family, that's the easy answer. We're looking for a singer, songwriter, actor, celebrity.
Sure.
Social media darling or whatever. Question number 2. Of teams right now in the playoffs in the West.
In the play, because that's a thing, because the
Hey, let me rephrase it. If the playoffs started today,
right,
which team right now currently holding down a spot do you see out of a playoff spot in the West? And you've got, again, I'll just say this
In
for
the
people
NHL.
listening. We just do the West. The Jets, Wild Stars in your Central.
Yeah.
Pacific has Golden Knights, Kings, Canucks, and your wild card in the West right now, Flames and Avalanche. And Oilers are tied on the Avs for 20 points, just missing that mark.
Right.
I think I know what most people's answer is going to be, but
it's probably the Flames, right?
Probably. Well, stout goaltending and something the Avalanche don't have.
It's probably the Flames. I think that's the easy answer.
You see the Canucks falling off at all. They are tied right now in points with the Canucks. Goaltending has been a problem. They are crashing down to earth right now with their goaltending situation
Didn't
as well.
they just bench
maybe not the
Miller
talent
as well.
Yeah, just saying. It is easy to go with the Flames.
Okay,
it's easy to go with your dad, but maybe for
the Canucks are an interesting team for me, at least, in that much like a Daryl Sutter team or a Trotz team.
Yes, they can work their way in there, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Like they have a head coach that you immediately start the clock on how long they last.
Sure, but for the present moment, it could still get you in a wild card 2 spot or hang on to one.
Right, or it can just absolutely
maybe but not yet
collapse out.
Yeah,
right. Like as much as that type of a coach can get incredible performances from a team, when a team sells, like when a dressing room decides, you know what, Rick, I think we're done. It gets shut down hard. So the Canucks are an interesting follow in that you wonder. And the Canucks have always been this team where they have these great seasons and we talk about 20 different things and really all it is Thatcher Demko.
Yeah. Not start of a dynasty here.
And then Thatcher Demko gets injured, and we talk about 20 things about that are disappointing with the team, when really all it is a Thatcher Demko injury, right? That they are the ultimate team where we're looking too hard to figure out what's right or wrong with them, because the answer is always Thatcher Demko. And you wonder if that's happening again for the Canucks.
Trev, who do you got? Is it as simple as the Flames?
Yeah, I hate to be that boring guy with the same answer.
No, you don't.
But
no, you don't, because this is what you bring on a lot of days.
But it's it's got to be the Flames. It's got to be the Flames.
Go off the board.
Well, it's not going to be Vegas. It's not.
Go off the board.
No.
Go off the board and say, I thought the LA Kings were an also-ran team at the beginning of the year.
Didn't.
They had a hot start, but that's a team that falls apart.
No, I didn't, though. I thought they were going to be good. Same with Vancouver. I also thought Calgary was going to be.
You were like, Warren Fogle, he's the key. He stirs the drink.
That's
baby.
exactly who they needed.
Yeah.
That's why the Oilers. You know what? Maybe I'll just go with Vancouver. Not sold. Don't know when Demko's coming back. Is he coming back? I have no idea.
And if
I don't think he exists.
If and when he comes
what's
back,
a Demko?
What's the time frame on before he gets injured again?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
So I'll go with Vancouver.
Burglar chimes in, and this will be question 3. LTE, I'm leaving this with you. The Nasties must acknowledge the work of Will over the last couple of weeks. What a remarkable job stepping in, doing a great job consistently, providing great listening content. He deserves the time off he's getting. Thank you, Will. I love how it's time off. You're going to get a bit of a vacation here.
Right.
And back. But question number 3, what should, to you, Nasties, listening, watching, whatever, YouTube Trev as well.
I thought this was questions for us.
Well,
now you're throwing it out there?
No, you're also included in this.
Okay.
But how do we send you off tomorrow?
Yeah.
I mean, what do we want to do? Do I bring in a deep and delicious cake? Do you want a breakfast sandwich? Do you want some women in here?
Yeah, that's what I want. Some
strippers?
Yeah, just you know what? You've been sharing unwanted photos with me lately. More. Just more.
I could find you more photos for sure. I got lots of friends. No, but what do you want to do? How do we want to send Will off? We already said maybe an eyebrow thing. Are you serious with that? Were you just joking or?
No, we're doing eyebrows tomorrow. For
wow.
Sure. Yeah.
So is that the string where you put?
No, we're not threading. No,
Oh, okay.
We're just taking big sheets and just ripping them off.
Really?
Yeah.
Ugh. You want to get in on this, Trev?
Oh, Trev's getting in on it.
No, thank you. I want to do the nose one.
No, we're shaping your eyebrows. They could use some work.
No, I don't like that. I had no choice. Like when I was growing up, my mom would be like, "Come here, I'm waxing your eyebrows," and I was like, "No."
Well, you know what it's like.
Yeah, and it sucks. I get like it's a rare case. Like, do your eyebrows get wicked swollen and red, like crazy swollen?
Well, for like 10 minutes.
Mine lasts for like 2 days.
Oh,
cool.
So I
don't know. Yeah, I don't know how
you should definitely do
How
it.
are you trying to talk us out of this?
Yeah, now we have to do it.
No, I'm not doing it. I'll do the nose one though. I'm mad that I missed that.
I also speak with an Asian accent for 3 days afterwards. It's the weirdest thing. Like all you're doing is giving us reasons to do this.
Yeah.
No,
we work in a visual medium. Why would you say that?
Oh my God.
Thank you. I would prefer the nose one.
Vera
We'd
Montenegro
all
says.
prefer lots of things.
Thank you.
Yeah. No. But there's no nose. It's eyebrows or nothing.
Okay, well, nothing.
Oh, we're doing it.
You can't hold me down.
Trev, part of playing the producer, you got it. We've all done. You've done stuff you haven't liked doing in the past.
Absolutely.
That's pure pressure.
Well,
exactly. Welcome to media, man.
Man. You had an oyster last Christmas. Bones says smoked oysters. Would you like a tin of smoked oysters tomorrow?
I'd rather not, but
you go down on one with me.
Yo.
Look at this one though. Vera Montenegro, I think, has the if you text this
out
in,
of
Vermin.
nowhere. That was a right hand. That was a knockout punch you just threw.
Atif sent in a Goodbye Will song.
Let's not do that.
Wheels, if you got one more in you.
Let's not.
If you got one more in you.
Put the pen to paper for this one, Wheels.
Really get the tuner out, right? Get the band.
Really rehearse this one.
Here's what I would actually prefer. If you could find some way to have our old program director, Rob Vavrick, come in and walk me out again. That would be nice.
I think I can make that happen.
Yeah.
I think I could make that happen.
If you could have him have to sit down and look at me in the eye with the same sort of look of, I don't know why I'm doing this. That would be wonderful. As he sits next to an HR person, that's like, I hate my life.
Right, the sigh.
Why do I have to be here for this? and all three of us in a room just wondering why this is taking place. Sort of in bewilderment.
Encore, Teef. Encore. Will, have you met a Teef? Have you met him in the flesh?
I did.
Yeah. Okay. So perfect. Well, maybe we'll get into that hurts as well, and that hurts. It does kind of. I've had a good time doing this with you.
Thank God.
All
Thank
good
God
things come to
did.
an end.
Yeah.
And as
if
your
I
son
can make one person happy, I've done my job.
James H. Brown injury lawyers, when accidents happen, go to jameshbrown.com. Maybe we'll get the entire James H. Brown group. You've seen the billboards with
Whole
all
team?
of them. They all walk in and give you a kiss.
That is a lot of billable hours, man.
Well,
I don't know if we can afford that.
I think we pull out all the stops.
Okay.
Check out James H. Brown today. If you do need some legal help, advice, that type of thing, they are your people. Get to them today. But that hurts. It hurts. This is like a flower. Where am I going here? Death reborn. Dustin comes back. It's going to be great. But again, it means that you're going to leave. And we've kind of, it's not like it's been a couple of days. It's been some time here. We've kind of bedded in, you know?
For the Phoenix to rise, there has to be the ashes.
Yes, and
right?
this is the ash.
We're gonna burn it down tomorrow.
Yeah. So again, I think the Atif Goodbye Will song has taken.
I hate that.
Taken over here.
Idea.
But anything else you want for tomorrow that we can kind of drum up in the next 24 hours? Let me know. Let us know. 780-218-9999.
Yeah.
Is anything else hurting you besides the fact that you will now be allowed to leave after tomorrow?
Yeah. Please let me leave. Just.
What did your son say again? What was the phrase that he kind of the blooms off the rose or something along those lines?
It was so. Is it becoming progressively less and less special?
Progressively, right? Progressively.
Oh man.
Best of Will EST moments. Somebody says it'd be tough to turn around in such a short time. You can just go on YouTube and watch the Hangouts.
Right.
Of Hangouts past.
Yeah.
Those are just as good.
It's still relevant. It's about as relevant as I am.
Yeah. But I think
most of my takes are about 6 years old. So.
Vera Montenegro, that was a hell of a... and once again, if you missed it today, Atif's got a Get Well Dusty Nelson song, which we'll be playing in the wrap today for William Huff. Sound of the day.
I hate this.
Sound of the day, easily. What's Jared saying?
Some people
here?
are upset when you
look at this.
hate. But.
Jared sends in a picture to the Paris Jewelers inbox. It's got Will Fraser. It's got a W in a circle. 9 million shows. And it's got a banner being hung up in Rogers Place. 9 million shows. 2024. I'm tweeting that puppy out here. What a heck of a picture.
Yep.
Anything else that hurts you? I know you had the grocery store incident, which you confessed today, but anything else causing you pain, Trev? Pain out there? Aside from the Oilers' loss, which again is, you brought up the F word today, frustrating, and I think
that's the F word?
That's Gager. That's the F word.
Okay.
Today. Gager in the bullpen, hey?
Yeah.
Yeah, Gager's coming on.
It's getting warm. Just warming up.
It's getting hot. Well, we got the game to break down, a game to set up tonight, also the Las Vegas Grand Prix. This weekend. So we'll head to the track with Gager, get his thoughts on that. But that hurts. James H. Brown injury lawyers. When accidents happen, go to jameshbrown.com. Let's hit a sports update then for Sit and Sleep. YouTube Trev's got you all up to date on everything going on in the world of sports. And we'll be back with Joaquin Gage and a modified orange and blue breakfast to get you set for Oilers and Sens tonight ahead of the wrap for William Huff. This is the Lieutenant Eric Show. Comrade Will Fraser here on Edmonton Sports Talk.
Sam Montembeault stopped all 30 shots as the Habs blanked the Oilers 3-0 from Montreal. The loss drops Edmonton to 9-8-2 on the season, but the Oilers are back in action tonight in Ottawa to take on the Senators. You can join Tom Gazzola for the GCL Diesel pre- and post-game shows right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Coverage gets underway at 4 o'clock. Elsewhere last night, Alex Ovechkin scored twice before leaving in the third period with an apparent left leg injury as the Capitals defeat Utah 6-2. Ovechkin, who has 5 goals in his last 2 games, left at 5:30 in the third period and did not return following a collision with Jack McBain. He will be reevaluated later today. The Ducks double up on the Stars 4-2. Sharks defeat the Red Wings 5-4 in overtime. Macklin and Celebrini with the OT winner in that one. Blue Jackets top the Bruins 5-1. Boston have dropped 3 straight. Avs clipped the Flyers 3-2. Cale Makar with the pair. Over to the NFL we go. Texans improved to 7-4 with the 34-10 win over the Cowboys, dropping Dallas to 3-7. Cowboys also 0-5 at home on the season. Week 12 kicks off Thursday when the Steelers visit the Browns. Over to the association, Raptors picked up a much-needed win against the Pacers, 131-19 your final. RJ Barrett led the way with 39 points. And the Emirates NBA Cup group stage action continues tonight with 6 games. Cleveland at Boston, Charlotte at Brooklyn, Denver at Memphis, Pelicans at Dallas, OKC in San Antonio, and Utah in LA to face the Lakers. The wait is over. Sit and Sleep is now open. Celebrate with 20,000 square feet of savings on the trendiest furniture, home decor, and mattresses. Apply for your Sit and Sleep card today to make no payment for 18 months interest-free and be entered to win your purchase up to $5,000 on furniture and home decor. Next to Planet Fitness in South Edmonton Common.
The Nielson Show featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
This is the Lieutenant Eric Show with Comrade Will Fraser. The Nielson Show will return, scheduled to return Thursday, presented by Southfort Chevrolet. Drive a little, save a lot, www.southfortchev.com. It's coming to you, though, still from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen Studio. Get your texts in, 780-218-9999. The Paris Jewelers inbox, $20 to NW on the line. I like this one from Rob in the Grove. We can line the stairs at EST headquarters and slow clap Will out of the building. We'll get the Russian spa. We'll get the entire building. Everybody that works and resides, the psychiatrists and everything, we'll all line the stairs and just, one of those things. It'll be an emotional day. No, not a dry eye in the entire 2-level here.
Yeah, that'd be upsetting. I think you should do that.
Joaquin Gage joins us now. He is brought to you by Pro-Am Sports, your locally owned sports memorabilia and apparel specialists. They're putting extra time on the clock, staying open until 7 p.m. on Thursdays in November and December. You can check them out, corner of St. Albert Trail, 128th Ave, or online at proamsports.ca. Good morning, Gage. It's good to see you again. We were just taking suggestions since we do think it'll be Will's last show on the morning show tomorrow. Hopefully, Dustin will be projected back Thursday. Any ideas or things to do for Willie tomorrow? Bake a cake, bring in some flowers, a card, if you will.
Well, what does Will like to do? He likes to kind of
always a man of mystery.
A little run or something. Yeah. So maybe I don't know. Maybe a little gift, a running water bottle while
New
he runs.
Shoelaces.
There's something there. I mean, I can't buy you running shoes, Will. I'd love to, but those things are expensive.
You're telling me, buddy. You're telling me. It's
pass the hat around.
Yeah. Yeah, we could take just $5 donations.
Yeah,
you get me halfway there or
some
something.
Skechers. Yeah, Dusty's got a connection there, eh?
A gift card to I don't know, Costco with maybe Will can go get some new frames. New funky frames for glasses.
A fresh pair of Keds. Yeah, that's what I need.
Okay, Gager, let's get into this one. We will set up tonight's game. Obviously, Senators tonight. But your thoughts? Just, people, not death by 1,000 cuts, but people going to a lot of places with this team. Is it simple as just injuries and not getting to the front of the net and not being able to score and the power play and so on and so forth? Where are you kind of zeroing in on specifically last night, not so much as a whole with this team kind of going up and down?
Well, there are few instances throughout the season that guys it just doesn't go your way, and that you just don't have that extra gear. It seems like, and I don't want to say there's not enough effort, but maybe a willingness to get to the areas to be successful and win a hockey game was apparently not in the cards for the Edmonton Oilers last night. The biggest thing for Oilers fans, and I think the reason why you see the anger of most fans, is the fact that this team hasn't been able to be consistent through these first 20 games of the season, right? So that's probably why. If we were to look at where this team was last year, if we're going for comparisons, because that's usually what people are doing, is they're in a lot better situation this year than they were last year. And it's a team trying to figure things out. Look, when the moves were made at the beginning of the summer, I think for everyone was basically anointing Jackson with the Jack Adams, it's not the Jack Adams, the GM award for GM of the year, right? Because those picks were so sexy. But look no further than the Nashville Predators bringing in some big name players that just these pieces of the puzzle just don't seem to fit yet. And I'm optimistic. I think they will fit at a certain time. But saying that, this team does have some blemishes right now, and there is the need for some Accutane sooner rather than later.
Jim Gregory.
Okay.
Yep.
Of course it is. Gager, do you ever have PTSD watching a game like last night? I can remember watching you in front of some pretty bad Oilers squads getting shut out 3-0 and having to listen to somebody go, it's goaltending. Do you ever watch a game like last night and you are Calvin Pickard during a game like that?
It depends on the game, but I do look at games mostly through the lens of a goaltender. And when the first goal, the Gallagher goal, you're just that whole sequence was for Pickard. And if I'm in his shoes, it's a high tip. It's a great, it's a goal basically on any goalie. You have to be lucky for that to stop that or hit the post or go wide or something like that. But then you watch 10 seconds later, he makes arguably the save of the game to keep it 1-0, And right then I thought, okay, so automatically in the room, I guarantee that they're talking, look, boys, we're lucky to be 1-0 here. We got Pickard made a big save for us. Let's go get going in the second period. And there was a little bit of push, but just not what you'd expect, right? And again, I think the biggest thing that you can take away from last night's game is the word perimeter. And there wasn't enough. Look, hockey's a basic, simple game, and it comes down to 5 guys executing and working harder than the guys that they're opposing. And that requires a little bit more effort, a willingness and a battle level that's above your opponents. And they just didn't have it last night. I'm not saying the Montreal Canadiens looked okay, but that's a team where if the Oilers did impose their will, that game should have been over after the second period.
And your thoughts on Montembeault? To me, it looked like a guy who didn't have a misplay all game. He didn't have to be fantastic, but I kind of looked at him and went, okay, so if he's got a high level game, and if he can ever find consistency to it, I get why some people are pretty high on this guy.
We talked to Brian Wild yesterday on our show, and I kind of, asked him the same question. He said he hadn't been playing great up to this point, and right then in the back of my mind, oh, here it is, the goalie performance, because we saw what he was doing at the beginning of the year, like back-to-back shutouts and things. So there's a high level for Montembeault, but was he really tested last night? It wasn't. They didn't get in the eyes of the goaltender. He saw everything. But to your point, I liked his game. From what I've seen from him, I don't know if he must be considered for the Four Nations in a sense, just being in Montreal with a lot more eyes on him. And his ability to steal games is evident at the NHL level. So you'd be crazy not to think about him in this conversation. And plus he shut out the Edmonton Oilers.
Right.
That's another check in the boxes that you're probably looking for a goalie. But look, I said this yesterday too. when you look at the Oilers' defense that they can put together, and the goalies you mentioned, and I realize when you look at the U.S. goalies, Swedish goalies, there's some real sexy names there, but all the goalies that you mentioned, for Canada, you've all seen them play at a very high level, albeit maybe a shorter period of time, but that's all you're going to need.
Joaquin Gage joining us, brought to you by Pro-Am Sports. Expectations for tonight, Gager, is Stuart Skinner expected to draw back in. Last 3 games, all save percentage below 900. Shots faced 22-20. But what do you think is going to have to happen for this team? And again, Craig Button was on earlier, kind of mentioning the Senators are a bit of a yo-yo as well. Some nights they're getting results, sometimes they aren't, albeit young in the season. But what do you see tonight, a key for the Oilers getting that 2 points out of Ottawa?
Well, if we're going to start from the net out, Stuart Skinner's Ottawa's capable of generating really good scoring chances, so he's going to have to take some goals away at key times in the game to either keep the game close or preserve the lead that the Oilers have generated. It's going to be a completely different game than the past two. Playing against the Toronto Maple Leafs, I think it's a fun game for players to play because the
especially
Leafs
that
want to run
night
and
and that time and everything, right? Like it's an event.
It's not an overly physical game. Aside from the hit that Ryan Reeves had on Darnell Nurse, but it's kind of that flow, trading chances. That's fun to play. It's men's league hockey. And you saw that game kind of bleed into the Montreal game where, they're trying to clog things up and make things a little bit more difficult. This game's going to be a lot more physical. So if the Oilers are thinking that they're going to just, win on their experience and skill, I think they have another thing coming. This is a scrappy Ottawa Senators team that's, like you said, Eric, they're kind of on the rise right now. I think this is I've been calling for this team to make huge strides. They haven't done that, but there's no better measuring stick in the NHL right now than facing the Edmonton Oilers because they were in the Stanley Cup Finals last year, and they have Connor McDavid, who just reached 1,000 points, and arguably the second best player in the league in Leon Draisaitl, right? So they're getting everyone's best game, and to the Oilers, I think there's only been really one game, and that was the game against Vancouver where they really ran into subpar goaltending. Every goaltender they've played, I'm not going to say they got goalied, but have played well, and they haven't got any real free ones.
Yeah. Parting thoughts, Gager, and we appreciate your time this morning. We're going back to the Las Vegas street circuit. Your thoughts, expectations for what we can expect in Sin City this weekend in Formula One action?
It's I think Max is going to have a really strong performance here. He can basically seal up the Drivers' Championship with a really solid performance. Something like he would have to be crash the car the last 3 races, and Lando would need to win all 3 to become champion. So I think that gets done this weekend as we crown our Drivers' Champion, but. The constructors is still really interesting. Like McLaren, 593 points, Ferrari 557, and Red Bull at 554. Right, so that's kind of what I think it's going to come down to these last 3 races to crown that constructors, because as you know, that's where the big money is, which is kind of odd to me. But I don't know. It would be interesting to see if it came down to the last race between a few teams, because of course. This is the one part of the competition where it really depends where you and your partner finish in the race. And I think you could see Ferrari's been pretty consistent up to this point. McLaren's up there, but with Max and Checo's kind of been lagging behind, right? So I'm sure over this little bit of a break, there was a lot of talk about team game, and Red Bull probably really be trying to get, one of those, at least try to have 2 guys finish on the podium to get back and hopefully in front for them to win the Constructors' Championship.
I'm looking forward to it, man. It's always just a nice, obviously Vegas, the sightlines and everything like that, but the constructor's still on. Also, I just want to leave this Sailor in the Nasty Chat says a Joaquin Gage Hamilton Bulldogs hockey card sounds like a sweet parting gift for Will Fraser tomorrow. So maybe
I'd take 3 of those.
You can keep that in the dog.
There's none left. Sorry, boys. There's none left.
Well, they're hot commodity. Maybe we'll catch you later on today here at HQ Gager. Thanks again.
Can't wait.
Joaquin Gage, brought to you by Pro-Am Sports. Check them out today. They'll be open later this season till 7 o'clock on Thursday nights. Thursdays.
He was too calm.
November and December.
Too cool and collected and rational.
We need Quenneville.
Yeah. I wanted more panic.
We need yelling. We need... I love this, too, and most people have been getting in their suggestions. We'll get to an Orange and Blue breakfast here momentarily, brief one, but Big Slam Nasty says, how about a bunch of us Nasties park outside EST HQ tomorrow? Then when Will walks out, he points at each vehicle, and they pay homage by turning their headlights on. Now, again, the sun would kind of be up. If it's a cloudier day, it would kind of hit, but maybe a little fog would be nice. That'd be a good ode to you.
I think the panic would set in. I'd immediately try and lose the tail.
Orange and Blue breakfast right now. Let's get into this one. Oilers and Sens tonight. Once again, you can join Tom Mazzola.
The guy tailing me, and he keeps flashing his high beams at me.
Just the spa doesn't know what's going on. Yeah. Burn it. Yeah. Shoving papers in a paper shredder. GCL Diesel pregame show, 4 o'clock here. Tom Gazzola's got it on EST. He'll be joined by Reed, Jason Milne. I'm sure everybody will be kind of breaking down or setting up this game, also talking about last night as well. Let's get to the lineups right now. As far as we know them, the Ottawa Senators tonight, clean bill of health from them as well. Healthy team right now. Josh Norris centering Ridley Gregg and Brady Tkachuk. Stützle between Giroux and Batherson. Shane Pinto. You can bet on him having a good night.
Why?
Between Perron and Amadeo, and then Adam Gaudette and Zach McEwen and Nick Cousins rounding out your fourth line. Jake Sanderson and Artem Zub, the best name in hockey, I would say. Zub sounds like a Star Wars guy. I've always loved it. Shabbat and Jensen and Clevin and Hamonic rounding out the blue line. And in terms of goalie, Linus Ullmark and Anton Forsberg is what they're rolling there. For the Oilers, we know Stuart Skinner will get the start in net tonight. And once again, a couple of injuries we'll get to here at the Podium Physiotherapy Injury Report.
Just a couple of
injuries. Well, a couple of big ones as well. And what's the deal with Arvidsson anyways? It's like a midsection thing. Like, that's a tricky one now. You don't know, it's kind of feels like that Austin Matthews day-to-day turning into like a week-to-week, and then before you know it, it's where's he been?
I obviously it is something of the soft tissue variety where they're waiting for swelling to go down.
Don't like that.
No.
Ekholm Bouchard defensive pairings, Dermont, Kulak, Josh Norris, Emberson as well back there. Once again, I mentioned Stuart Skinner in net. McDavid, RNH, Hyman, Draisaitl between Perry and Podkolzin, Henrique, Janmark, and Brown, and
I hope not.
Derek Ryan, Jeff Skinner. I know what you said. Say it again for people who maybe missed that. What did you like? You had a plan.
Well, honestly, I would be moving RNH down to be on Draisaitl's line, just because he needs somebody else to transport the puck.
And Connor Brown,
I would move Connor Brown up with Connor McDavid,
his buddy.
Well,
but that was kind of the idea first off, isn't it?
Yes, and right, like it's one of those things where it's kind of like let's get some speed into those top lines, because it's being wasted on the bottom lines because you're not playing them enough, and this is a team that needs to generate some downhill pressure. But much like goaltending, until that power play becomes consistent, they're going to struggle.
Fair enough, and that's kind of, I think, where some people, when you look at this team and you just management all this, it can go to the power play. The power play can cure a lot of ails right now.
Well, when you look at the Oilers when they've gone on runs, it has been extended. Like, there have been good performances that they deserve the win, but there have also been those games that have been 50-50 games.
And what cracks that?
Whereas the power play has gotten them over the top, right? Last night, if they score on one of their 2 power plays in the first period, it's a very, very different hockey game. They didn't. And it just kind of, it allowed Montreal to stick around and then get a ridiculous tip at the end of the second period, and it deflated the team.
Let's get to the injury report. As mentioned, clean bill of health for the Sens. A few players for the Oilers. Knee pain from that nagging ACL injury, hip or shoulder pain slowing you down, back pain after a long day at work. We've got you covered at Podium Physiotherapy. Whether it's a sports injury, post-op recovery, or the wear and tear of everyday life, our expert team is here to get you back on track. Podium Physiotherapy, NHL caliber treatment for the everyday individual. Book now at podiumphysiotherapy.com. Oilers, once again, pretty elementary. Darnell Nurse, day-to-day, they said yesterday, 5 to 10 days. That makes you grimace a bit, worried a bit. But look, if that's their body, their choice. If he feels fine, if he's good to go, so be it, I guess. As I said, get the water bottle on the head and give him a smack and let's get going. That's what they used to do to me in football. Well, head injury, hey, bam, and they'd smack you on the helmet and get out there.
You are an older man than Darnell Nurse.
Yes.
But you recently suffered a brain injury.
You can, well, not brain, but I mean,
yes,
you can.
That's what it is.
Mild trauma.
Yes.
But again, in football growing up, it was you smacked, you hit your head and you got smacked and you get smacked back out there. So again, we shouldn't be surprised in a league that doesn't really recognize it or wants to shy away from it.
Yeah.
No guardian caps there.
Your recent injury, how long before you started feeling normal again?
I will never feel normal.
Right.
Like some people don't.
Yeah.
If it's handled bad. I remember in football, I went to the doctor, Mediclinic, and he made fun of my acne and he sent me home. He's like, get a good night's rest.
Yeah.
And so, which was, I mean, at the time.
That sounds like Saskatchewan to me.
This is a Mediclinic, right? Like, God bless him. Darnell Nurse,
if
Victor.
you really wanted help, you wouldn't have come here.
Victor Arvidsson, Evander Kane, Carl Berglund, and Brady Stonehouse rounding out that injury report. Podium physiotherapy. Okay. The Arvidsson concern. Kane, we know, I get it. But Arvidsson screws you up on that offensive side, and Nurse obviously shaping into his own, coming into his own as of late on the back end.
Had been playing strong hockey.
Not a good time for both of those, especially at this moment. Keys to an Oilers victory. I think you basically shared us your key with that lineup. You had a bit of a lineup as well
followed
for tonight.
By the power play, followed by more of the power play.
Trev, do you have anything else you'd like to add as opposed to Will's suggestions?
Changing 200.
Oh.
That's it.
That's all you had to add.
That's all I got.
It is a
I will take it. That's
you know
good
what?
enough.
You know what? That's more than I've offered.
No, yeah. So, like, I guess a few things. Just simplify it, and like we've talked about this, but like one too many passes, and we talked about it in hour one of today's
passes.
show.
Okay.
Yeah, way too they're way too many passes is what they're doing. They're one too many passes is what I should say. But we talked about it in hour one. Credit a little bit of both. The Habs defense, like they were playing okay, but there were times where Connor McDavid, I've seen it so many times where he could have gone into the slot, he could have taken a shot, but instead, like he's in the slot and he's passing it up. So I'm not a fan of that. And you touched on it, like deflated. They got deflated after one goal. Like are they seriously getting deflated off of one goal by the worst team in the league? Yeah. Like if Ottawa scores one goal, like get back. You still have a whole period.
They were already deflated by their lack of production on the power play, and that goal at the end of the period was kind of the straw that broke the camel's
It was still in their grasp.
I'm not disagreeing that you should rationally be able to look at it.
For sure they should.
We're talking about your emotional level. Like, goals in the final minute of a period are killers.
Yeah,
they always have been.
If it was Colorado, if it was like if it was the Jets, maybe I'd be like, okay, yeah, that's fair. Yeah. But like, what are they saying? Okay, guys, like this is a huge uphill battle. This is a one goal we have to get against the worst team in the league.
The human brain, the psychology, it's the back of your mind stuff that you don't want to believe in it, but it's just one of those things
I don't know why this is, but this is a truism in sport. There are hard buildings for certain teams. We talked about it heading into last night's game.
They suck there.
Montreal is a tough get for the Oilers and has
for a lot of teams,
right? But they've been, and we did this earlier in the year when they lost in Columbus, where we're like, what is it about Columbus that deflates this team? Certain places get into your head. And
it's not the talent,
right,
of the Blue Jackets, right? Like
it is certainly not, and it certainly was not the talent of the Montreal Canadiens that got into their head. There is something about the place, the fans, the energy. I mean, who knows? Yes, it was a delayed start. It was a whole bunch of things.
It's your Orange and Blue breakfast. Another key on your key ring.
It was a Prime broadcast.
The Prime. People are blaming the Prime. Drink the pink.
Drink the pink.
Yeah, I guess just don't. If you're down, just there's still plenty of game left. Like don't get down.
Don't
get too down on it, and then just one too many
It's a good life
passes.
lesson as well.
Yes,
just in
what
general.
we do here.
As Sarah Harmer saying, don't get your back up over this.
Lots to get to here in the wrap for William Huff. That is the Orange and Blue Breakfast. Once again, GCL Diesel pre- and post-game shows tonight. Tom Gazzola, coverage gets underway 4 o'clock right here on EST. Will Fraser, the days are ticking down. He'll be his last show projected tomorrow. Dustin Nielsen should be back in this chair Thursday. He will be back today, albeit from home on the Lock Shop. Over the next couple of days, 2 guys in a goalie and the oil stream as well. But the Hangout's coming up next with Matt Iwanek and Tom Gazzola. Your next chance to qualify for the EST Flyway to LA. But right now, a quick wrap for William Huff. WilliamHuff.com. You want your place to look as good as his eyes, or perhaps one of those Will banners that I tweeted out today at Lieutenant Eric _Eric on Twitter. That Will banner's looking great. 7 million shows hanging next to Garth there. Beautiful thing. But check them out today. In business since 1952, so you know they're incredible what they do. WilliamHuff.com.
I am kind of the Garth Brooks of EST.
Absolutely.
Right? Like, I leave for 7 years. I come back and I do 20 shows in a row.
Yeah, and your alter ego is great. your goth
It's true.
Will.
When I leave here, I'm
Just
full emo.
Yeah.
Or emu, as Dustin Nielsen described it.
Sure. We won't get to anything. We didn't really learn much today. Wasn't that educational? I want to get to the sound of the day.
I was having a good time.
No.
This is what I learned.
You learned that Atif continues to be the songbird of this station. Wheels, if you're listening, we need a Goodbye Will song for tomorrow. Atif did send in a Get Well Dusty Nelson song, and we will play it for you right now if you missed it in the 6 o'clock hour. This is your William Huff rap sound of the day.
It's been a month without you, my friend, and the EST is missing you. The Nielsen Show is going to be called the LTE Show, featuring Will Fraser. We thought you were at the Grey Cup in Vancouver on the weekend, but really I think you were in Toronto at this Taylor Swift concert. I wonder if Winnipeg Sports Talk Radio put an offer sheet on you, and we hope that you're going to get well very soon. Everybody misses you, Dusty Nielsen. So come back to home to EST.
Now, bonus points for what song he's covering there, Will.
I hate this.
That's Atif. He will have a Goodbye Will Fraser song tomorrow, hopefully. Produced, full band, spare no expense. Can't wait for that. Text of the day, it's going to Rob from the Grove. He's coming a little late here, but we were taking suggestions on Will Fraser's final day tomorrow. He'll be back. He'll have a head. It'll be great. We're waxing our eyebrows tomorrow. It's going to be great. Make Will dress. Oh, no. Also, this is what he says. He also wants you to dress up in the Smash Mash costume as well near the end of the show. I don't think you would be inclined to do that. But Rob from the Grove, text of the day, he's going to A&W. We can line the stairs at ESTHQ and slow clap Will out of the building. Maybe our old boss, we get him there as well. And I do like having the staff from the spa downstairs, not knowing who you are or the significance of you leaving, also lined up and clapping. Maybe they'll have a few of those wicker branches they can slap you with, a wreath of some sort, maybe a basket of assorted fruit for you to bring home to your family. That's going to do it. I know it's cringe. Look, we know Atif's music is cringe. This is like the Oilers' start to the season. It's cringe. We know it's slow. What's the surprise here? There's no surprise. Look at that hair. He's back.
I had a cart full of groceries, I would have left them.
Just walk
in
out.
the middle of the floor.
You can walk out.
I'd have tossed them.
I'd walk out.
I'd have thrown it on its side.
30 items Atif had there. Congratulations, Rob from the Grove. Thank you all for listening. We got through the show today. Once again, another game to rinse that turd. Tomorrow's going to be great. I can't wait. Eyebrows are going to be awesome. Hangout coming up next. Once again, your next chance at the EST Flyway to LA is coming up. I want to thank our guests, Craig Button today, Joaquin Gage, and all the sponsors, Paris Jewelers Inbox. Check them out today as well. 70% off select items for the Christmas season. Get that 6 o'clocker logger as well. $12.99 through Christmas. Great from Alley Cat. And Spectrum Rental for Confessions. We had Fired Up for Gemco Fireplaces. We had the Fan Zone for Fans First.
Fan Zone.
Confessions, as I mentioned, for Spectrum Rental. Cool Bet. Canada Suriname. Get on that action tonight. And as well, that hurts for James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, and the wrap for William Huff. 3 questions too many for Park Mazda. Kind of easy trivia for Mr. Mike's. The Nielsen Lieutenant Air Show presented by Southport Chevrolet. We're coming to you live from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen Studio. Got it all. Can't wait till tomorrow. It's going to be a great show. Enjoy the night. Hangout coming up next. We love you.